You're watching the Action Sports Jax 24/7 network. Now it's time for the Brent and Austen Show.
Oh, happy football season, everybody. You're taking a look at the Miller Electric Center, and it is quiet right now, but only for another day or two. Rookies and quarterbacks in the building, coaching staff in the building, everybody gearing up, ready to go for the football season here in 2026, which, by the way, the Jacksonville Jaguars are playing here in Jacksonville. I have so many people say, hey, they're going to London this fall, right? No. They're here in Jacksonville for their 6 home games in the regular season. Of course, a couple more in the preseason. Then next year is Orlando. We got a fun show lined up to kick off football season. Football season for us starts like right now. Forget about Wednesday. It starts right now. I'm sure you're jacked up about it, too, as it's been a nice summer, but also a long summer waiting for the next season of Jags football. Brent Martineau, Austen Lane, Jason Hamby, and pretty cool show today. We'll have Liam Coen stop by in the 11 o'clock hour, and also Trevor Lawrence, Jaguars quarterback, who needs no introduction. So should be fun. Fire away.
No, without a doubt, man. And like a couple key notes here real quick. You know, Jaguars fans out there, if you have a parent or grandparent that thinks that the Jaguars are still out of Jacksonville this year playing, let's go ahead and get them on the internet. Let's go ahead and set them up with a Twitter account or an X account or an Instagram account, and let's make sure they're getting all the information, at hand. Because the Jaguars will be in Jacksonville for 6 games this season, and then it is going to be next year where they'll be playing in Orlando. Just want to clear that up a little bit for everybody. And also, I mean, hey, it's kind of like the first day of school again, right? Summer is over. Hopefully you guys had good vacations and everything. Hopefully you guys are excited to make some new friends, right? Hopefully you got your backpack and everything. You got all your stuff ready. Mom's going to drop you off at the bus stop. And, yeah, let's get ready to go, man. Let's get ready to have a great season.
New backpack or new sneakers? Which one was more important?
Both. Oh, well, I mean, obviously sneakers because you're going to see them more. But shout out to Mom who always made sure I had the fresh backpack as well. I still have an old-school Jurassic Park backpack that I still think about to this day.
Yeah, I like it. We are ready to go here. By the way, we're looking at the construction, and I was down here this weekend. Cody Johnson concert was really good. You were right, Hamby. You delivered on that promise. He was excellent at the arena, but we were taking some folks down here who hadn't been down here in a while, and it was pretty eye-opening to them. Obviously, even Steph hadn't been here in a bit. But it's there's so much going on, which is actually kind of cool to watch it out the window, see the Four Seasons about a year away, the new Jags office building, which is already, occupied. And there are like 5 restaurants coming out down there over near the marina with the Four Seasons included. So
Hooters or not?
I don't think
Hooters making an appearance again, or is it done?
I do not think Hooters is on
R.I.P.
the list.
the Hooters at the landing.
No, I definitely don't think that is it. All right. Well, listen, I think there's some obvious stuff going on with the Jacksonville Jaguars that has everybody's attention. Can they do it again is at the top of my list, right? We'll ask Liam Coen about this, but I think a year 2 is so important for a myriad of reasons, probably in any operation and organization and program, but specifically in this one because they haven't gone back-to-back postseason since 1999, and to me that's the box you have to check, and that builds consistency now toward the end of the decade, the opening of the stadium, and everything else. Then there's the Travis Hunter story, and we continue to get some pretty good updates from Travis Hunter. The latest over the weekend with Trevor throwing to those guys, the receivers getting together, and he looks good. I mean, you would have no idea that Travis Hunter is coming off a pretty significant knee injury and surgery.
No, without a doubt, and that was one of the most important things in this offseason is, well, it's still one of the most important things I feel like is how is he going to be used? Is he going to be healthy? Can he put on weight? Well, he's put some of those things to bed. He obviously can put on weight, and it seems to be quality weight in terms of muscle, because if you've seen the guy's physique lately, it looks like he's right for the cover muscle and fitness. Like the guy looks shredded, and he looks like he's been taking it seriously in the weight room, which is what you want to see. It seems like he's bought all in, even though maybe there were some discrepancies his rookie year in terms of putting that weight on and everything. It seems like he's trusting the process now, and I think he's going to be doing right by that, simply because the more muscle you can put on, if your speed can stay the same, you have a better chance of staying healthy. And especially a guy who's going to be playing on both sides of the ball in some capacity, health is going to be a big thing for him.
So what are you looking forward to outside of those main headlines? By the way, there are a few more headlines from Cole Van Landen on the PUP list, which I think is a pretty significant one that's been a quiet story, but he did get an extension. He's your left tackle. You do have some depth with Adoga and Walker Little. Probably will battle for some time. And we have 7 weeks until you get to the regular season, so there's plenty of time, hopefully, for Cole Van Landen to get healthy and be ready to go. But that's pretty significant from an injury standpoint, too. Don't want to miss that. The business side of things, they did extend Cole Van Landen. They did extend Trayvon Walker. They did extend Brenton Strange. And now we wait on Parker Washington. We had a long conversation about that last week. So, again, a lot of different headlines. What stands out to you going into this week?
So, well, going into this week, but it's really in the entire season that I'll be watching for, and it's really a very broad view. But to me, it's the last hurdle that Liam Coen has to overcome before we start talking about Super Bowls and remaining consistent year in and year out. You know, I think last year, look at Liam Coen. He answered so many questions, right? Can you win on primetime? You beat the Chiefs. Can you win on the West Coast? Well, you did it a couple times, right? Like you beat San Fran. You beat Arizona. Like mission accomplished there. Can you win in England? Well, you know, I mean, it didn't go so well with the Rams, but then the other one, it looked like, you know, it was fine. So they answered a lot of questions there. The one, I feel like the last hurdle that this team has to overcome, and Liam Coen has to overcome, is can you win year after year? We've seen this before with the Jacksonville Jaguars. They have a shot in the pan. They overachieve expectations for one season. Then what happens the next season? They go back to where we thought they were going to be, right? Well, expectations this year are extremely high for the Jaguars, as they should be. You won 13 games. A lot of your roster is coming back. I'm going to be watching to see if can Liam Coen answer the one final question. Can you put out a consistent winner year in and year out? And I feel like if that's going to be the case this year, then all the questions have been answered. Then it's like, okay, well, then let's start looking, you know, in the future. Let's start talking about the window being open and maybe talking about going to a Super Bowl one day.
Yeah, I think that is the key. I think where that takes you after you do that, if you do that, make a run, become a perennial good team. We can count you in the way we do Kansas City, even though they had a bad year last year, or the Baltimore Ravens, who people just assume will have the most wins in the National Football League, even though there are questions there. They don't worry about them. Mm-hmm. And so can we sometimes get to that point with the Jacksonville Jaguars where it's like, hey, don't worry, they're going to be there. Like, they are going to be there. It's just a matter of how good and can they win that whole thing. And there are probably now a handful of teams in the AFC we do that with. I think we even do it with Cincinnati, that you think they're going to be there if Joe Burrow stays healthy. But there are 4 or 5 other teams that are trying to get into that conversation, and the Jags are one of those teams. I think the Patriots probably are one of those teams. Can they duplicate their season? I think the Chargers have always been one of those teams. I think the Broncos will be one of those teams. I don't even really think Houston's in that category because people know their defense is good, and so as we saw the odds last week, people have them winning the AFC South. So I think there are like 5 teams that you say, okay, most people think they're going to be there at the end, have a chance at the postseason, get in the postseason, have a chance to make a run. And then there are 4 other teams that showed us something last year, and I think the Jags are in that conversation to now say, hey, we're going to be here all the time. Welcome us to the party. Move over.
No, without a doubt. And it's like I've said before. I mean, to me, if I'm trying to see is the window open, are they capable of making a Super Bowl run, it comes down to, do you have the coach, do you have the quarterback? And right now, I am more confident, and obviously I'm wearing teal-colored glasses, but I think it's the truth. I'm more confident right now in Trevor Lawrence with the combination of Liam Coen than I am with C.J. Stroud and DeMeco Ryans. Not to knock DeMeco Ryans. What he's been able to do in Houston right now has been nothing short of amazing. Come in your first year, win a division, especially from a franchise like we want to talk about trying to replace Doug Peterson, trying to replace what they had in Houston and everything, and J.J. Watt leaving, Hopkins, like, that was no easy task, and he's done a great job there. But the big caveat with the Houston Texans is, well, what is C.J. Stroud? And if it's anything close to what we saw last season, you can't feel really confident right now in terms of saying, well, they have a quarterback that can put you on a run. We saw the best in Trevor Lawrence last year, especially towards the end of the season. So I err on the side right now of taking Trevor and Liam as that coach-quarterback combination. And if you have that, you have a great opportunity to make a run.
How confident do you have are in those two? I mean, where's your confident level? Listen, I've been confident because I'm a pretty positive guy around here, and I don't think I blind faith it. But I actually saw like something I said from 2018, I want to say, on Blake Bortles, and it was at the start of the year, and I was like, wow, okay, hey, looks like I was right, folks.
Pay him.
Died on that
Pay
hill.
the man.
Now, I would not say, even at that time where you saw some, hey, this might be the next step for Blake, I'd never really thought, okay, they got the coach quarterback combo. That wasn't it. I mean, Marone's an offensive guy, but I never really felt strongly about that. When Trevor had a nice year in 2022 and they make that run, almost an incredible run, really, and then they start off good in 2023, that's when you think they have the coach quarterback combo. I remember clear as day doing shows and saying, hey, they got the better coach and quarterback today going into Sunday. And I do think that is an important part of it. How much confidence do you have, again, against a lot of pretty good combos now in the National Football League? I think the NFL's positioned better than it's ever been to have coach-quarterback combos, quite frankly. And that sounds like a loud statement, but go look it up when you could have this many teams that feel good about what they have at coach and QB. How good do you feel about coach and QB that this time it is good? And you got to be careful just to say it just because it's 1 year sample. Because we're interviewing them today.
No, for sure, right? So be careful what I say. No, so if you want to
don't be careful what you say. I think it's easy to just say, they got it.
Hey, I assure you, I will never be careful of what I say. I'm going to say what I want to say. But okay, so let's start with Trevor Lawrence. I think he indeed is the guy right now because, well, you have a coach that seems to have brought out the best of you, that holds you accountable. That seems to prop you up and raise you up, which I think what was missing in previous regimes. I think you have an offense that is very quarterback friendly, especially if you want to run the football a little more, and kind of, basically, are they going to run it? Are they going to pass it? Keep defenses on their heels? I enjoy that. I think they have the wide receivers to help out the quarterback. The big caveat is they have the running backs. And I think, once again, in Liam Coen, you trust a little bit because everywhere he's been, he's found success running the football, right? You saw it in Tampa. You saw glimpses of it last season, but then all of a sudden the run game was predicated off of, the short pass game with Travis Etienne or Etienne. I don't know what we're calling him anymore. So I'm not worried about Trevor. And with Liam Coen, I'm very keen on watching press conferences, watching how coaches carry themselves. And if something stands out to me, I'll say it. And literally the only two things that stood out to me last year with Liam Coen that I spoke on that I'll repeat just in case we all forgot. I wasn't a big fan of against Cincinnati when he called out the refs. That was the first thing he said. And I wasn't a big fan in terms of the whole Travis Hunter narrative of how he's going to be used and everything. Those are the only two things. And guess what? If those are the only two things that I picked out that I was looking up on, I wasn't the biggest fan of that. Well, dude, you're doing great. Yeah. I had a laundry list of things, with all due respect to Doug Peterson, that kind of rubbed me the wrong way a little bit. Which at the time we didn't really look much into it, but then as the season progressed, it's those things are popping up again. I have nothing really to say about Liam Coen because I think that the Travis Hunter things, those things have been extinguished. And you know what? In terms of the refs, if you want to use that as a little more motivation to motivate your players, I wouldn't do it. But you know what? It seems to be working for him. So how can I speak against that?
Yeah, I'm fascinated to see a couple of one of the big stories of the summer, right? Or the biggest story of the summer was the World Cup. And I was kind of trying to think of the Jags in relation to the World Cup, or at least individuals. And I wondered, I don't know how big a soccer fan Liam Coen is. I don't know if you watch a lot of the World Cup. Same goes with Trevor Lawrence. But I thought one thing with Liam Coen, I was I wonder how much material he maybe pokes around on in the offseason to get some motivation, right? The whole edge stuff. And, I mean, he was great. He was great in the locker room and hyping these guys up. And Saturday nights, and we've already said, hey, I think there's plenty of ammunition based on if you want to play the lack of respect card. Will he do that again? Will he double down on that? Or does he, mix it up a bit and go in other areas? And maybe he takes something from the world. Maybe we'll even ask him, if there's something that you see, something that you can parallel, something that might stand out to you. I don't know where you get your material if you're a head coach, is I guess what I'm saying.
Yeah, I mean, to me, though.
It might not be the World Cup. Could be anything.
Yeah, what do you say for the World Cup? Hey, don't beat USA against Belgium, ever.
Yeah.
I think, he understands the big challenge ahead, right? He understands, and he's spoken on this many times, that year two, it's so hard to go from a first year of success and then try to duplicate that in year two. And he understands that. But, I think, in terms of motivation and everything, you don't really need too much to get these guys amped up. You saw what you did last year, and you lost to a Buffalo Bills team. That's going to be one of my questions for Liam, is, you lost to a Bills team that you probably should have beat, right? You kind of let it slip away at the end. How much does that linger? Are you the type of guy that wants to go back to that and say, hey, here's the film, let's watch it for the 100th time, because maybe guys are slacking a little bit in training camp or, we had an off day. Well, here's what off days get you. Right? So do you go back to the past or do you just focus on the future? But nonetheless, I think, and this comes down to James Gladstone as well. You've you've built a locker room now that has a lot of quote-unquote intangibly rich guys who I think understand the task at hand. It would be one thing if you're leading a bunch of guys who maybe are a little more high-strung, a little more emotional. You got to wrangle them in or bring them up, whatever the case may be. This locker room here now that has a little bit of leadership and that has some guys that love the game of football, I don't feel like you have to do that. So I'm not sure if we're going to see a big motivating, like this ESPN analyst said this, you guys pissed off about it. We'll see. But I think we're getting to the point now where this locker room can start monitoring themselves and motivating themselves. And when you have that, that's when the culture is going to finally be put in place.
Well, that's what everybody strives for, that ownership of the locker room. And I think you're right. I think you feel that. We have no idea of that, exactly, and what like Liam's looking for in terms of that and how much that is. But it certainly feels like it. It feels like when you have the pillars like Trevor Lawrence and Josh Hines-Allen, and then you have the hunger from last season. One thing I was struck by in the springtime and the OTAs, even early summer, is that this team feels hungry. I mean, again, you have the Brenton Strangers of the world locked in. Trayvon Walker, no-nonsense guys that want to be great and locked in. Parker Washington, I think, is another. I mean, you can go down the list. I can name every. It feels like that team. Boy, hey, Lucan, right? All these guys keep popping in my mind where I don't really think you have to do all that because, to your point, they got a locker room that's pretty hungry and pretty professional, and it feels like they know without you telling them what was left on the bone in January,
Yeah, and without a doubt. And I think, listen, if you ask Liam Coen 5 years from now what he would want this team to look like, I think he would want them to monitor themselves. And I really call this the Andy Reid effect. I understand that, Liam Coen is more under the Sean McVay coaching tree, which brings a little more energy and a little more pep, and that's great, right? Like, I think that's contagious, and I think a great NFL locker room can have that. But the Andy Reid effect is that we have so many great professionals in our locker room that I don't have to be the guy that's going to always motivate everybody, right? I can be the guy that's going to focus on the X's and O's and try to get you guys the best possible matchups, the best possible offense that we can get, so that way by the time we touch the field, you guys have completely trusted in me that, hey, I'm going to call the plays that get us the W. You guys have to do your job and monitor yourselves. That's what I think Liam Coen wants to do. It's not saying, hey, man, don't fist pump anymore in the locker room. Don't have these great sound bites and press conferences, because that's who you are.
Yeah.
Right? But I think eventually I want to see him spend all his time on the X's and O's, drawing up these fantastic plays that score you points, and let the locker room kind of jurisdict themselves.
Yeah, that's good. And I feel like he's got a real good feel for that. I think
course.
we went back to last year, like the phrase of last year, the learning of emotional IQ, and that got thrown around a lot, right? Is the feel, essentially. That's what it means. And I think he does a tremendous job of that. I think from the city, out these windows, again, there have been people in this that sat here in a podium, like we're basically in the press conference room, and you can sit there and they don't really know what's going on outside those windows. I think Liam has a really good pulse of it. I think he's got a great pulse of what's in here. I think he's got a great pulse of when, hey, I need to be that coach-centric leader that I am and they hired me to be, but also I need to pull back a little bit, make sure it's not all about me. Like that, there's a lot going on there.
Yeah.
Right? And I think he does a good job of it, and we get to kind of witness it again this season.
Yeah, and I think, and once again, we use the term dynasty maybe a little loosely sometimes. But when you think of, the great dynasties of the NFL, to me, they all had coaches that you respected, but they also kind of let the locker room monitor themselves, right? Like, I mean, yes, Bill Belichick, he was a hard ass, right? He's going to hold you accountable. But you got the sense of when you had the Bradys and the Gronks and the Edelmans, and when Amendola was there for a little bit, and everybody on defense, Teddy Bruschi's and everything, you got the sense that they had so many great veterans and so many guys that love the game of football that, yeah, Bill would probably say something to you if you messed up, but at the end of the day, they monitored themselves, right? And the same thing can be said for Andy Reid. Well, those are the two dynasties that come to mind right now. I think, once again, 5 years from now, if Liam Coen can try to get to that ilk and have a locker room that is full of guys that are self-motivated, it's only going to pay dividends.
Well, so you say those, and you mentioned great players that go along with that consistency, guys that have been around for a long time, been around the program, if you will, for a long time. Kansas City, of course, with Mahomes and Kelsey and Chris Jones, and you name it.
I mean,
right?
When I was there, it was Eric Berry, it was Justin Houston, it was Tom Ali, it was Derek Johnson. I mean, a lot of great veteran leadership.
Yeah, and I feel like the Jags have a lot of that. I really do. I feel like at least we know it because we know these guys, been around these guys. I don't know if the rest of the country knows it.
Sure.
But I feel like the rest of the country does know it. So it gets me by my other kind of World Cup analogy a little bit. You get all the stars in the World Cup playing awesome. That was one of the cool things about the World Cup. Mm-hmm. And I have no idea if Trevor's a soccer fan or not, but it got me thinking a little bit of, man, when you watch greatness, when you watch Messi or when you watch Mbappe, you know what elite is. We know what elite is in the NFL. We know what the Bradys and the Mahomes look like. Well, the bottom line is Trevor has some gifts that few humans on planet Earth have. Mm-hmm. And you just kind of wonder internally, like, does that inspire him? Like, if he watched that or sees that, does he even need that inspiration? I'm not sure. But, like, what's your inspiration behind being great? Because it's easy. Human nature, I always say, is to be, oh, that was good. Here I am. I'll just go do that again. But the great ones obviously push past that, challenge themselves a little bit more, take another step, and are never satisfied.
No, without a doubt.
I mean, I guess that part we just don't know yet on Trevor, just how good he's going to be. We still think there's ceiling to get there, and that's why we ask what's the next step all the time. But that was my other parallel of, I mean, we watched some worldwide greatness this summer take place.
Yeah.
And, I mean, the hope in Jacksonville is you've got a great one. Everybody said generational. We stay away from that now, but that's okay. Like, amongst the best in the league, he was last year. He has been a couple of times in his career. And now I think for this thing to go where you want it to go, he needs to be again.
No, without a doubt, man. It's great to see that you have World Cup fever now that it's over, man, since you watched 2 games. But it's really cool to
we
really
led
cool
like
to hear.
every show for 2 weeks with the World Cup.
Well, because people are watching didn't mean you were watching though. But I'm glad you have World Cup fever now, right? And it's like you have like post like symptoms, but it's all good, man.
I miss it.
Welcome back. Yeah, it's good to have you. No, like listen, and this is one of the very first questions. At least when I was coming through the combine, I assume that hasn't changed. If you actually go to the combine, talking to the Jaguars, they don't need to. But like, if you go to the combine and they sit you down, I want to say 9 teams out of 10 that I interviewed with the first day, they asked me the same first question: why do you play the game of football? What motivates you? Right? And I think that answer can have a lot of tentacles to it. I think some do it for family. I think some do it for financial success. I think some do it to try to win a Super Bowl and the feel of winning. Some want to do it for legacy, to be a Hall of Fame. Like, everyone's going to have a different answer, right? And maybe today we'll get Trevor Lawrence's answer. But the most important part, and I don't think it has to be one exact answer. Like, okay, if you're a coach, you probably want to hear, I want to win a Super Bowl, right? But, like, maybe you don't get the best out of your players if that's the primary focus. Maybe some of it is, I want to show my son. I want to show my daughter. I want to do it for them, right? Whatever the case may be, it has to be embraced with the right reasons. And as long as it's embraced with the right reasons, then your why, if you will, shouldn't really matter. And I think that goes with any kind of sport, right? But maybe that's a question we can ask Trevor today.
Yeah, interested to see. Trevor Lawrence and Liam Coen scheduled to join us a little bit later on in the show. We're live at Jags headquarters. Let's take a break here on the Brent Austen Show on the Action Sports Jax 24/7 network. Football season is here again. Everybody gets going. Well, not everybody. Everybody here in Jacksonville gets going on Wednesday with practice. Wednesday, Thursday, Friday sessions. Make sure you check out Jaguars.com and sign up if you haven't already registered to get here. They're free tickets. Once again, the Jags will be playing their preseason games and regular season games at home right here inside this stadium. So make sure you know that as well. But we're looking forward to camp. It should be a lot of fun and eyeballs on a lot of things. It's the beauty of camp right now, and this happened last year too, is that you have a lot of things to watch. It hasn't always been the case in Jacksonville. I mean, you try to watch a lot of different things and you talk yourself into it. It's an NFL team. But right now, the Jags have look how many storylines we just mentioned in the first 20 minutes of the show. I mean, the list could go on, and we're probably missing some. How will Buster Brown play after signing the big deal? Right? Just things like that. The interior of the Jags defense didn't even get to it. It was the biggest story of the offseason going into the draft and free agency. And now it's become a little bit of a footnote because it is what it is, and we hope they play well. So a ton of storylines here in Jacksonville. We'll keep rocking and rolling from Jags HQ here on a Monday. Hope you had a good weekend.
Baker's Sports. It's a hometown business filled with hometown people trying to make you feel right at home.
Chris Conley, Jacksonville University.
Walker Wright, class of 2018, West Nassau High School.
Michael Young, Fletcher High School.
Baker Sports started in a grassroots way and now outfits much of the Southeast.
Samuel Coffrin, Paxton School for Advanced Studies.
High school sports, travel sports, youth sports of all kinds. They are a one-stop shop carrying Nike, Adidas, Under Armour brands, and more.
Vincent Caldes, Oak Leaf High School.
Tony Mazzio, Stanwood High School, class of 2002.
Whether it's sports teams on the field or it's your team in the workplace, like our Action Sports Jacks team, and community events like the Dream 18 Golf Tournament, and many others.
Cole Tilley, Hilliard High School.
Reagan Webb, Eagles View Academy.
Look good, feel good, play good with Baker Sports. Custom sports apparel since 1997. Shop with the hometown team at bakersport.com.
Local sports content anytime and anywhere. That's been the vision of the Action Sports Jacks 24/7 network as we bring you live events and exclusive interviews just like this.
I'd be lying if I'd have said in 1995 when they picked me that 30 years later I'd be sitting here.
Let's see this weigh in right now. What do we got? Oh, we got a big hole. 44.48. There's the moment here.
The lead is 14, matching the largest of the game. Crawford, he
Oh
did it
my
again!
gosh.
If we can't do the minimum of making it to the Final Four, then something's really not right.
And it's only growing from there. So join the thousands of people that have been tuning into the Action Sports Jacks 24/7 network each week. Download the apps, save the website, or tune into any of our social media platforms as we bring you local sports anytime and anywhere. So come watch some sports with us on the Action Sports Jacks 24/7 network.
Nimnicht is synonymous with Jacksonville, and now in 2026, Nimnicht is celebrating 85 years of partnerships with you. Longevity equals trust, and you want a car dealership you can trust. Thousands of vehicles sold, generations of families, all part of the Nimnicht family of dealerships. It's nobody but Nimnicht, and part of the reason why is this is a first-class buying experience here at Nimnicht Buick GMC. You're not just a customer, you're a friend. This is about getting a vehicle that best fits you and getting you on the road, and also helping you and your family down the road.
Congratulations to Jordan Matthews, our committed to the uncommitted player of the year.
Nobody but Nimnicht. They are there for you and your causes, your car buying experience, and they are there for you 24 hours a day at NimnichtBuickGMC.com. Experience professional grade with big inventory and even bigger savings. And Jacksonville's only Car Bravo certified dealership. Nobody but Nimnicht for 85 years. This milestone belongs to you, Jacksonville.
It can be a silent killer, but awareness is getting louder. Blood clots take more lives each year than car crashes. And just like driving, you have to be defensive. A few easy ways to protect yourself or someone you love are to learn your Caprini risk score and ask your doctor about your blood clot prevention plan. Emily's Promise is a local nonprofit named for Emily Atkins, a young woman from Fernandina Beach who died after a preventable blood clot following a broken ankle. Her legacy is now driving change across Florida. The Emily Atkins Family Protection Act strengthens how hospitals screen for clot risks and train staff to recognize warning signs. Blood clots can affect anyone, including athletes, and the signs can be easy to miss. So be aware, be defensive, and help beat a silent killer with loud attention to risk factors and symptoms. Learn more at emilypromises.com. That's emilypromises.com. Most of us know how to throw. But you need to know what to throw. I'm not talking about footballs, baseballs, softballs. We're talking about those items you need to recycle. Republic Services explains it easy. Recycling simplified. 1. Know what to throw. When in doubt, throw it out. 2. Empty, clean, and dry those materials. It takes an extra minute, but it makes
Welcome back to the Brent and Austin Show, streaming on the Action Sports Jacks 24/7 network.
Oh no, the Jacksonville Jumbo Shrimp have lost a dozen in a row, and the Miami Marlins have lost a dozen in a row. There was a time the Marlins were like 3 games out. Mm-hmm. And the Shrimp had a really good first half of the season. I think they got off to a nice start in the second half, like 4-1. And all of a sudden you look up and the Shrimp, woof, I mean, it's been not good, and obviously the Marlins the same. I don't know how common that is to either win or lose 12 in a row with your AAA affiliate.
I mean, is the AA team at least doing decent?
Yeah,
or
that's a good question. Probably one I should ask myself.
Does the single A team look promising? Can we get some kind of positivity or not?
I am going to turn this organization around here in Jacksonville. I'm going to go to the Shrimp game tomorrow, and I'll get a win. I'll make sure they get a win. They're home. They're home this week, and I'll make sure they get a win.
As in terms of you're going to be playing with them? Or
I'm not playing with them, but I will be there cheering them on. It's just a karma thing.
I got you.
I'm going to change. I honestly haven't been to a Shrimp game this season, and we're going to go with our neighbors before camp begins. And Steph's been wanting to see a game, so we're going to go over there and bring good luck.
There we go.
To the Jacksonville Jumbo Shrimp, who are obviously the champs from a year ago, and again playing pretty well in their encore season after that championship. Until the last couple of weeks. It's really rare to do that because they have 6 game stretch, their series are 6 games.
Yeah.
And it's really hard in basebot to lose.
The Pensacola
Tuesday
Blue Wahoos are 15-11 in the second
besides
half.
that, no, I hear you. But no, I mean, I get what you're saying. It's very uncommon, except for the Reds.
Except for the Reds. Also uncommon is, I know everybody has talked about your guy Miz.
Oh, Brent, come on. We don't have to spend our time saying how great he is. We all know.
Yeah, you were curious whether he was going to be good. Forget about great at the start of this season.
I was curious.
You were curious. It was one of your footnotes.
Oh no, my footnote was that since he was in the reliever role last year for the postseason, he's going to be counted as the ace this year. But if you remember how that whole conversation went down, is Hamby brought up the case because they left Freddie Peralta in New York. That bum of a franchise. Sorry to some people that maybe work for Action Sports Jacks, but I mean, hey, it is what it is. So there was talks of how do I feel about Miz now getting that starting role, and I said he was unproven, but I am confident in the Brewers' pitching lab that they're not going to miss Freddie Peralta at all, and that Miz will be the bona fide starter. Well, lo and behold, look how that came true, huh?
I mean, did I see yesterday it was 66 pitches over 100 miles an hour?
Yeah, I mean, probably. Yeah.
I think that's what it was. I think it was 66 fastballs over 100 miles per hour. He's serious. I know everybody's throwing over 100, or it feels like everybody's. It's not everybody's throwing over 100.
Yeah.
All right. There are guys that do throw 103, even 104. I think Miz has even touched 105.
105.3 to be precise.
But you got the Chase Burns of the world. Chapman has done it for a long time.
Yeah, I never heard of him.
But the reality is that most guys throw it 97, 98. 99 and touch 100 on occasion. 66 pitches in an outing that hit 100. This guy sits at 100 plus. That's the amazing part of it. And so, I mean, we are seeing something that's just phenomenal. And I'm assuming we'll see more of it because he's not going to be just a unicorn and nobody else does it.
Well, yeah, I mean, yesterday was a big-time treat playing the Colorado Rockies in Milwaukee, and he struck out 11 of the first 12 batters.
Yeah, first 7, I think it was.
First 7, then 11 of the 12, then I forgot who the batter was. Give him a Medal of Honor because the guy closed his eyes and hit a home run.
Didn't he hit a home run?
Oh yeah, he hit a home run off Miz, and then after that they pull because now they're kind of pulling Miz early because they don't need him.
Yeah,
right.
Yeah.
So kind of save that arm, stretch him out a little bit, which I'm all in favor of. But it definitely messed up the perfect game and messed up the no hitter with that home run. But hey, sometimes you close your eyes, sometimes you hit a home run. Props to him. But it's been a fun story to watch. I think the biggest thing in Milwaukee that people are obviously worried about is can this maintain, right? Because if you watch his release and you watch how he goes about pitching, he exerts himself in a big-time way. Not necessarily with the arm and the shoulder. I mean, he uses his full body. He's guys 6'7", 6'8". So, he's got a big frame to work with. But, all that twerk and everything. Oh, twerk, whatever. He's not twerking. He's torquing. All that torque and everything when he comes downhill with that long stride. Some people are saying, can he sustain that for multiple MLB seasons, and hopefully they can, but right now, man, I'm just enjoying the ride.
You should enjoy the ride. It's a nervous thing for a fan when you have a guy like this. See, obviously the quarterback position is so integral for a team's success in any high school, college, and especially in the NFL, right? Mahomes getting hurt or if Lamar Jackson gets hurt. I mean, we know that. So that's huge. and it can't happen. And I don't even want to talk much more about it. So it's tied into a team's success.
Yeah.
But I do feel like in baseball, when you have a guy like this, whether it's Skubal or over the years DeGrom or Mizorowski, we are so in tune that guy, it is hard for him to maintain health for an entire season.
Sure.
That I just think it's like nervous time for a fan. Like you appreciate it, you enjoy it, but you're also like, what's next week going to be?
Yeah.
It's just I think more than any other position, even the NFL position, I don't think you go into a football game thinking like that might happen to your quarterback.
No, because it's a different thing, right? But it's a physical game, so it can happen to your quarterback.
I do think you go into like a month of your favorite baseball team and like, man, I hope he gets out on the other side.
Of course.
I actually think you think about it.
Yeah. Or if you're a Pirates fan, you're thinking, what the hell happened to Paul Skeens? No, what was that? 6 earned runs against the Cubs? 7 earned runs? You hate to see that, huh? What would happen to Paul Skeens?
What were you showing us, Hamby, there? I don't even know if we can hear Hamby. What happened to Paul Skeens, by the way?
He got shelled.
Again?
He did not
like
look
the third
good.
Time.
Yeah, it was a bad outing for Paul Skeens.
Noah really wants to talk about PCA.
Yeah, we're all good.
Yeah, that's what he really wants to talk to you
Yeah.
about.
What, war some more? What is it good for? Absolutely nothing. Now we're all set. Thank you.
Okay, so I think Hamby's showing us the these are the top pitches, probably is my guess.
Yeah.
And is that Ohtani in there? I don't know, or is it Burns?
Brent,
I
mean,
I can't even see.
Brent.
What is it? It's Jordan Hicks.
With your eyes, especially at that small of a
Look at
screen,
that thing.
let's not be just making assumptions it's Ohtani or anything, please.
Well, I saw the. Oh no! What
did you see? What did you see? A blue cap? There's a couple blue caps in Major League Baseball now.
Yeah, I don't. Well, I didn't see a blue cap. I don't even know why I would have said Ohtani.
I have no idea either.
That's Jordan Hicks.
I see a lot of Mizorowski and I see a red cap.
I got Ohtani on my mind because like that 30 for 30 is coming out. I think like
is it really
or something? And I'm a bit interested in it.
Really?
Yeah.
Ohtani or the Dodgers?
No, on Ohtani and the betting stuff.
Oh, what if I told you?
Yeah.
Not everything stays at the table. That sometimes the bets can follow us on. Okay, I like it.
Yeah, I don't think we can't hear him, but yeah. Anyway, that's an interesting graphic. It shows Mizorowski's face like 500 times with the fastest pitches going on. Any fallout? Just to hit a couple of things because we will get obviously a lot of Jags talk in here today. Any fallout from more fallout from LeBron James to Philly because that broke late in our show actually on Friday.
Yeah.
And obviously everybody had a weekend to digest it. I can't sit here and tell you like I hate it. I told you before last week I said sometimes I just don't love the best players of all time in that conversation, jumping around team to team to team to team. It feels like he's been on too many, but it's also the way the world now works on a more common place. I don't feel like I have a major issue with it. I'm kind of intrigued by it. I also probably wouldn't put a lot on them to win the whole thing.
Yeah, I mean, listen, I think if you're a Sixers fan, you're ecstatic. I think if you're an NBA fan, you're kind of shaking your head a little bit, wondering, like, come on, man. Like, this just kind of feels a little cheap, right? Like, it doesn't look right.
It feel like Durant to Golden State?
I think it even feels worse than Durant to Golden State.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Well, he was in his prime. I mean,
well, of course, but, like, it's LeBron James, man. Right, like arguably to some people the greatest basketball player of all time, some the second best. Yeah. Right, but like he's right up there in that conversation. You know, like for me personally, I really don't care. Like I hope he does well. I hope Philly's in the conversation. I hope it makes basketball exciting. Right, that's all I care about. I'm a Bucks fan right now. Okay, I have nothing to really go off of. Right, we just lost Giannis to Miami, so like we're in the rebuilding mode. So it's not like I'm invested with that. So. Give me just an entertaining season and I'll follow along. But I think that if I'm, Adam Silver, if I'm trying to hype this whole thing up and I'm trying to find a side that no one's really talking about, I'm doing this. Everywhere LeBron James has been, he's won a championship. Okay? So if he goes to Philly and he wins a championship, well, now maybe we can start talking about the conversation. And once again, I'm just trying to hype stuff up a little bit. But now you can start talking about, well, Jordan went to the Wizards at around LeBron James' age, and Jordan didn't win a championship.
Yeah.
Jordan wasn't really scoring what he was. Didn't change anything, and it really broke my heart at the end of the day. If LeBron can go to Philly and win a championship and now say, listen, I've been to 4 different cities, and I've won championships in those 4 different cities, then I think the whole narrative of him going and hopping, it gets taken down a little bit. due to the respect of what he's been able to accomplish.
That's a good one. I didn't think of it like that. And is that why he went there? We said maybe went there to win a championship, but I didn't think of it in the context of that. I just thought, hey, maybe another chance. Why wouldn't you at this stage?
Yeah.
You're playing basketball for a couple of reasons. One, you still love it. You want to make a lot of money. Well, this wasn't the case. He's got plenty of money, and he actually took a really light contract. Or you want to win it all. And so I get the motivation no matter what, but that would be something. I think that would be a feather in his cap of sorts to be able to say that.
And keep in mind, Tom Brady, we give him all – I mean, he was always the GOAT, right, before he went to Tampa. But I think him going to Tampa and winning one also cemented himself with just how special he was.
Yeah,
right?
Separated him with Belichick and Brady, right?
Without a doubt, because it's one thing to keep doing it year after year in the same program with the same team, the same, familiarity and everything. But then when we go to Tampa, a completely different environment, and you still win, I think that speaks volumes. So if LeBron can go to his fourth team and win a fourth NBA championship with that different team, I mean, I don't think anybody else has done that, have they? Not like in a starting role, at least.
I can't imagine that's been done. I don't know. Well, how many? Robert Horry won like 6, but was it with 2 teams?
Yeah, I don't think it.
But you remember Robert Horry because of that. It's not like he's like one of the great players.
I mean,
of all time.
Kareem won some, maybe.
Yeah,
he
but I don't know about 4.
It wasn't 4, I don't think.
I don't think 4.
Like,
so that's a good question. That's easy to look up.
Yeah, that's going to set yourself apart.
Yeah, that's fair. And by the way, Philly hasn't been good. So he not only did that, but Cleveland, obviously, 50 years, I think it had been. And obviously the Philly would kind of feel that way, too. I mean, because they just don't win in the NBA.
And it seems like, too, because, listen, they've won the championships with the Phillies. They've won the championships with the Eagles, obviously.
Like
don't you feel like this has got to be their time now to, like, grease those light poles extra greasy and say, hey, this is, well, I'm the Flyers, but, whatever, hockey.
Yeah.
But, like, this is kind of like the one sport that's been missing in that pantheon of we've won everything.
Yeah.
It's time for basketball.
By the way, on the heels of, you'd have to go back a little bit, but even like a Villanova winning the college basketball for a bit, right? It's in that same kind of, at least somewhat era.
Yeah.
This feels a little newer, but you're right. And that does happen in sports. It seems to happen in sports where you get New England went on that crazy run for, I mean, not just the Patriots, the Celtics and the Red Sox.
Yeah.
I mean, when the Red Sox were winning a World Series and the Bruins were really good as well. And I mean, Dodgers and Lakers, they have all the stars, so it doesn't. I don't know if it always means winning, but even in Florida, we wondered if you could find that a bit. Tampa won, the Lightning won, the Panthers won, and then you're kind of like, hey, maybe this is Florida's time. Can that creep up to Jacksonville? It doesn't look like it's going to happen in Miami, so let's creep up to Jacksonville and help that happen. So yeah, I think it's going to be an interesting watch in Philly to see how that is handled, and also if it's a parade, because that feels different. If you have a parade with Cleveland, you identify him with Cleveland, and now that victory lap for him is, I think, takes different meaning. Yeah. I'm not sure he can have the victory lap that maybe you think he wants and everybody thinks he wants in a new place. I think he doesn't. I mean, from a team standpoint, I'm not sure you should be pulling that much attention away from everybody else. So how they handle that will be interesting, too.
No, I mean, it's going to be very entertaining theater because one could assume, if this is like the farewell tour and you're going to rock it wearing a Philly jersey, you're going to be the villain at a lot of your farewell tour, right? People aren't going to be shouting, hey, play some Freebird for us. Like they're going to be booing you and saying, get off the stage. So that is going to be an interesting caveat to it. But once again, they can boo them all they want. If the end scenario, if the final chapter of this story is you get booed the entire season on the farewell tour, but then you get to play and you win a championship and you hoist that finals trophy, it was all worth it.
That's a victory lap that does have a parade.
Yeah, exactly.
Actually has a parade.
Yeah.
You had brought a couple. I don't know if Hamby has some of these things, but did you just tell me that Jake Paul wants a workout?
Well, yeah, there's a video. So Jake Paul supposedly has been said that he's been in contact with some NFL teams. Now, I don't know if this is more of the Paul brothers building the Tom Brady stuff for SummerSlam or not. But, hey, really easy solution. Get Jake Paul for a tryout, record it, put it on Twitter, and show how bad he is. So we never have to talk about Jake Paul in the NFL again, right? All it takes is maybe a 15 to 20-minute workout, get a fifth-string quarterback out there, throw him some routes. Let's watch him drop some footballs. Let's watch him run maybe, I don't know, a 5-flat 40, and let's just laugh at that, right? Like, Liam Coen's alluded to it. James Gladstone's alluded to it. Let's make it sports entertainment. Let's bring Jake Paul in for a workout. Let's record it. Let's laugh, and let's move on with our lives.
Well, let's listen first.
your plan to get to the NFL more?
I mean, it's pretty simple. Just like when I started boxing, it's funny to see the tweet and deleters out there, the non-believers, the naysayers. Shout out to Drake. I think there's a lot of super mediocrity in the NFL, a lot of not good athletes, a lot of people dropping passes on a consistent basis. I have better hands than them. I'm faster than them. I'm stronger than them. I work harder than them. Really, all it's going to take is just me after boxing practicing some routes. I have a couple teams and coaches that I've already talked to that are interested in bringing me on to the team. It's really going to be quite easy.
Do you have a dream team you'd like to play for?
I mean, I'd love to go to the Cleveland Browns. Been a Browns fan my whole entire life. My mom is a diehard Browns fan, and I think they could use some good receivers over there. Number 17, Browns reserve the jersey now. Thank you.
One of the greatest athletes there is Brent Jake Paul.
Yeah. By the way, he's had a lot of success in his life. Being a Browns fan isn't one of them.
Yeah.
That's from
Got
sports. I had not seen that. I had not heard it. And the reality is that was like such an over the top promo push wrestling thing that it's like, okay, now I don't even want to entertain.
Oh, I do.
More.
Let him have his cake and eat it too. Offer him a workout. Let's see.
I do. I am curious though when you talk about this whole Brady and Paul stuff. Anyway, just how much do some of the leagues how much do they embrace the sports entertainment side? We have talked about that in here. I think
James Gladstone's mentioned it.
Yeah, they have mentioned it, which I think is cool. They've definitely mentioned it. But how much does the NFL? I'm saying how much does Goodell? It seems like with Taylor Swift in that side, right? That entertainment business, new fans. Again, it's hard to tell me that the NFL needs more fans or new fans. I mean, they're doing pretty well outside of the States. I mean, if it's international, it's one thing. But they don't need Jake Paul doing this. But there are some, whether it's a program in college or another entity that might need this back and forth. I just don't feel like wrestling might need it now to lift it up. But I'm not sure the NFL does for Brady and Paul.
The rapper Tusi was at LSU for a while until they let him go. I think Hamby, I can't talk to Hamby, but I think Hamby, you should know that. They had a rapper at LSU who I don't know how he got on the team, but then I guess it didn't work out or whatever. No, listen, with Jake Paul, ask yourself the real question. Does the talent outweigh the distraction? Okay? That's all you have to know.
Well, but I guess
is this Antonio Brown, where he had, a couple 1,000-yard receiving seasons? Probably not. So to answer your question, no, I don't think the talent outweighs the distraction when you talk about Jake Paul. I don't think any NFL team wants him on their team. And you can call yourself the world's greatest athlete, it's a great moniker to have, but if you do somehow make the NFL and you do play in more games than I am, then Brent caught the Jacksonville Iceman. Yeah, because then I'm going to have to come out of retirement. I'm going to have to play some hockey now because I have to put a fourth sport as a professional that I have to play. I played with the Jacksonville Giants, right? Mr. Thanksgiving. Yeah. We've been over that. Been in the UFC. Been in the NFL. Why not add hockey to the resume, man?
And by the way,
let's run the full gambit.
I feel like they've been somewhat serious about saying, "Come on over."
Oh, so my guys need an enforcer, I guess.
Yeah. I think they would welcome that.
Yeah.
I think this again. I know you can't stand the kind of the whole Jake Paul, Logan Paul stuff. I'm not really a big fan of it either because I don't really get it and pay attention to it. But I just think it's a broader topic. It is the entertainment business. What does that mean? And how much do you go from sport? And it's like college had to morph into this too. College went from, hey, we're an amateur sport, even though we know we're really not. We're big business, but we're hiding behind amateur sport. So they've now made that transition to we are a business. Yeah. We are not hiding the fact that we are a business. Well, you wonder if some of the sports not teams, but entities will say, hey, we know we're an entertainment business. Sure, winning matters. Winning is paramount. Yeah. But you do water that part down. Can you win and be entertaining? Well, yeah, of course you can. But where's your priorities? And where does that kind of merge and get muddy? That's what you got to be careful of.
Well, but at the same time, and this is why I feel like sports entertainment is different than professional sports, right? I get they can interact every once in a while, but professional wrestling, for example, it is a performance-based business, but it's not. To be a professional wrestler, you need a following. You need the retweets, you need the likes and everything, because once again, social media interaction is the currency. When it comes to professional sports, and I don't care how many views the Mike Vrabel got with a puppy when he pulls up to a press conference. Doesn't really matter. It's a performance-based business. And if you don't win football games, you'll be replaced. Simple as that. That can't be said professional wrestling. Like you can go ahead and lose like 10 matches, you're fine.
Yeah,
if people are following you and cheering you on, doesn't matter.
Yeah.
That's not how it works in the NFL. So I understand the entertainment aspect of it to get people in the door, to get the casuals following your team or whatever, interacting, but it's not the end-all, be-all. It will always be a performance-based business first, and that means winning football games.
Well, it's interesting you say that because the guy that comes to mind, not wrestling, but is in obviously UFC, is Conor McGregor.
Mm-hmm.
Like, he hasn't won a match in forever, but still has that following. You're right. I don't think you could do that.
No,
in the NFL,
you'd
lost the train.
Coach would get fired, the GM would get fired, and the player would get fired.
Quarterback's replaced, right?
Yeah, we'll see you. Thanks for playing.
You don't have that kind of leash.
No, I don't. Even
if you're big.
Yeah,
and by the way,
you can have Taylor Swift being a kicker, and if she's not going to be good, see ya.
Well, true, yeah.
Like what?
But even I'm listening to a more like a guy that can play football degree is Tebow, right? I mean, Tebow tried, but if you're not going to be able to deliver and play, you're gone.
Correct.
Right?
Yeah.
I mean, he certainly would have big following regardless.
Oh, I'm sorry, Brent. Did you see the people gathering at 316 every single day outside the stadium trying to get him in here? Yeah.
Yeah.
He would have a following.
So, there is the difference. And as long as you keep that difference, I guess, that's okay to still entertain the entertainment business. One thought actually brought up in the chat, I don't know, I think it was Mr. Hugo that might have brought it up, is the Kyle Shanahan story. Do you see that over the weekend? How about that? Got in a pretty bad car accident in the middle of July, and wild enough, it didn't get out.
No.
That is crazy that it took like 10 days for that to actually get public, and I think they were even trying to hold it off a bit more. But I couldn't believe it. To me, that's thankfully it looks like he's okay.
Yeah.
And he's going to be limited. You don't usually get a coach that's limited, but he is actually going to be limited to start camp and should be ready to go by the start of the season. But what a wild story that someone of that profile in the NFL can actually get in a car accident on July 14th and it not pop up publicly for like 10 days.
That's what I'm saying. How do we see like Mike Vrabel, Dan Rossini 4K photos on a boat from 6 years ago like that?
Yeah.
But we can't see like literally the guy got 40 stitches?
I think it wasn't a broken nose.
That's a pretty big cut if it's 40 stitches.
Yeah.
Guy gets 40 stitches, broken nose, horrible accident,
elbow injury or something
and no one says anything about it. It's unreal. And by the way, props to Mike Vrabel for having the ultimate PR stunt.
Oh my gosh.
I mean,
stop the car.
Hey, don't be hating on it, Brent, because this dude
that is ridiculous.
This guy is revolutionary. No, this guy is revolutionary, man, and he's setting a precedent right now. If I mess up so bad that I'm in like the public light and everyone's coming up to me, Austin's getting a puppy. What are you gonna say about me now? Dude, it's like a get out of jail free card. Literally, I can do whatever I want, say whatever I want. If I bring a puppy the next day, what are you going to do? What are you going to do? You going to call me out in front of this little puppy right here?
I can't.
I love it.
I can't believe you love that.
You
can't love that.
What a PR. That is the best move in PR move in history. Like, it's genius. Maybe a baby would have been a little better, but a dog is definitely on the power rankings.
Would have been better because then they would ask if it's Rossini's.
Okay, well that's a good point. Okay, so on the consensus boards, we'll say puppy number 1, baby number 2,
yes,
kitten 10th, 11th.
I can't believe you're not hating on that move. Like,
because you know what it is.
I get it. I know what it is. I can't believe it. I mean, it shows you though how in tune.
Oh yeah.
They are. He is. I mean, again, he's probably got a team of people around him. The organization does.
Yeah.
And it's just wild in that organization because if something did happen with Belichick over the years, like he would not be doing that.
Oh,
he would not give a damn.
Yeah.
He wouldn't care what you think. He'd move it on, and he wouldn't go to that length.
Yeah.
That Vrabel went to that length was really surprising.
I know, man, because he doesn't seem like he's.
He
built
does
from
not
that.
seem like that.
He seems like the guy that's going to be like, hey, whatever happened. We're on to football, right?
Yes,
that's the Bill.
And again, this wasn't 3 months ago, by the way.
Could you see Bill Belichick with like a little puppy? Oh my God!
Well, he did have the dog at the draft, I guess, but
okay.
it wasn't coming off a controversy.
No,
just
for sure.
Whatever. I mean, I couldn't believe when I saw that.
Where was that when I
was
needed
stunned.
it against the Bills fans, and all the Bills fans are coming after me, and I've been like the next day, oh, here's little Scout.
Every time.
Here's little Scout came to say hi.
Hey, that'll be a new thing, actually. Somebody around here's got somebody at our place needs a puppy.
Oh,
Sorry,
yeah.
Liv, not Aspen. It's too big. We can't hold it.
I'm not holding Aspen.
We need a puppy
Yep.
for every time we get hammered on social media for something.
It's gonna happen.
We just come in the next day. You got
Yeah.
one? You got a puppy, Noah? All right.
Hey,
Good
Austen
deal.
Lane, what about those Trevor Lawrence comments? I don't know. What about little Scout right here? Look at how adorable he is. Right? Who's Trevor Lawrence? Never heard of him. Boom. Mike Vrabel, job well done, man.
I feel like we are going to have a new dog in the office sooner or later.
Right, and listen, I understand where you're coming from, right? Like, it's cheap. It's
so cheap.
It's selling out, essentially.
It really is.
It's selling out. But you know what, man? You can't hate the player. You hate the game.
Well, but there's one other element to me. That's what this says. Not moving on.
Okay.
Like, this has been going on for a bit. And by the way, overall, the Vrabel-Rossini headlines have died down, right? Mm-hmm. So why even – like, I don't think this was the time for it because you are moved on to football season. So it tells me that you're still concerned about that. You're concerned about the image. You're concerned about, like, what the storylines is. Maybe you think something else is coming out. I have no idea. You know, the way these things now work is they just plan it at the right time.
Of course.
And they're waiting.
Yeah.
And so you just never know. But I again, I think you think this way and I think this way, that of the guys to do that with this situation, I didn't see Vrabel doing it. You know?
Mike McDaniel, when he's with the Dolphins, for sure, man.
Again.
Because he's kind of quirky like that.
Yeah.
Vrabel is like, I feel like as old school and like cookie cutter Belichick as they come, man.
Yeah, like I'd rather him get up there and flip me off, to be honest with you. You know what I'm saying? Just be like, screw you. Like, it ain't your business.
Yeah.
Like, that's what I'd rather him do, and then whatever that was.
Dude, but like, once again, maybe, like, you know, maybe, heaven forbid this happens, knock on wood, but like if Liam Coen loses like a really bad game, right? And it happens to every coach.
Oh, yeah.
Maybe if he gets blown out by a team he should have beat, bring that puppy in, man. I ain't going to ask about what happened in the game. I ain't going to ask about the play calling or why'd you kick a field goal? Why'd you go for it on fourth down? No, man. Hey, who's this little guy you got with you there?
Yeah, well, it would
What's
work.
his name?
It would work.
Yeah, man.
For a minute. Better losing games than what Vrabel did, I think, to try that one. Hey, let's hit a break. Brent Austen Show, Action Sports Jax 24/7 Network. One thing I wanted to mention, and listen, I'm a big guy. I'm a big believer in, hey, it's Florida, it's July, it's hot, but it's very noticeable. High school football starts today, practices, and they have parameters in place to hydrate and everything else. But even for these guys coming in this week, this is going to be a really hot week. It's going to be hot no matter what. In July, in training camp, in August, this is a hot week. I think it was a hot weekend. I think 99 is the number today. Feel like around 110. And you're going to get not as high Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, but it's going to be pretty significant. And just something that these guys need to monitor. And obviously they work with their strength staff, and Coen has to be aware of it. And you want a little bit of it to harden you up, toughen you up. But you're also going to be very aware, especially early in camp where you're not yet fully conditioned to be maybe where August 10th week is like this. It is going to be dang hot this week, and plan accordingly for the fans coming out too, although at least under there you got the bleachers, some shade, and some fans rolling around.
No, without a doubt, man. It's going to be a hot one. I actually have my son back home in Wisconsin right now wearing 2 sweatshirts and 2 pairs of sweatpants, running laps at Iowa Scandinavia Field just to acclimate when he comes back from middle school football because, hey, we're likely to any stone unturned, man. You know what I'm saying? We're going to make sure that we're ready to go. And I also have him bring
That's good preparation
too. Yep, and I think he's wearing like a goggles and a snorkel. So to kind of mimic, you know, the humidity that he'll be experiencing at middle school football.
I love that. I thought you were going to tell me it was 65 degrees because that's what happens when our kids were young, especially.
Sure,
We'd go up north, be 65 degrees at night, and they'd be bundled up.
Oh, it's cold. I mean, it's probably a little more chilly in Wisconsin. That's right, then. We're going to acclimate, get ready to go. NIL ain't going to pay for itself. You know what I'm saying, Brett?
It is going to be a hot week around here. Football in Florida. That's what you get. Nice and hot. We'll be back. Brent Austen Show, Action Sports Jax 24/7 Network. Here's the deal. Coming up this hour, Liam Coen is going to stop by, Jags head coach. Looking forward to that conversation. And then shortly after him, Trevor Lawrence. Trevor's getting some work in this morning. Quarterbacks and rookies are here in the building, and then he'll join us as well. So we're looking forward to having coach and quarterback on the show, the Brent Austen Show on the Action Sports Jax 24/7 Network. We should bring John Oehser into the show.
Johnny O, man, bring him in.
I should have made a graphic for him.
Yep.
Happy birthday to John Oehser this past week. We'll be back.
Attention Jacksonville drivers, we heard you loud and clear. You told us oil changes were taking too long, and we listened. That's why we're proud to introduce our brand new Nimnik Express service. We've added additional staff so you can get your oil change without ever having to book an appointment. Just pull into our express lane and we'll take care of it in the neighborhood, running errands. Just realized you're overdue? Just stop on in. No appointments, pull in, get out, get going. Nobody but Nimnik.
No one does it better, plays harder, or delivers more sports than CBS 47, Fox 30, and streaming on Action Sports Jax 24/7. The only local, multi-platform, round-the-clock streaming sports show in Jacksonville.
Yeah, thanks, Brent and Austen. I really appreciate you having me on.
From high school football, college game days, the AFC,
wide open, caught for a touchdown.
The NFC,
he gets there, touchdown, Seattle.
The PGA,
unbelievable.
World Cup soccer, NASCAR,
Denny Hamlin, big-time victory in Nashville.
Baseball.
Fly ball deep center, up it's going back, the ball is going long.
Local Jag shows.
You feel the energy in here? There should be energy. Jags are in the middle of a playoff race.
And of course, your official stations of the Jacksonville Jaguars.
Lloyd, pick six, breaks a tackle, touchdown Jacksonville.
We have all the sports, the exclusive interviews.
We got the best fans in the NFL.
The biggest games, the live events to help make your business soar. So hold on and see why live sports is where you need to be. On CBS 47, Fox 30, and streaming on Action Sports Jax 24/7. Get in the game.
Most of us know how to throw. But you need to know what to throw. I'm not talking about footballs, baseballs, softballs. We're talking about those items you need to recycle. Republic Services explains it easy. Recycling simplified. 1. Know what to throw. When in doubt, throw it out. 2. Empty, clean, and dry those materials. It takes an extra minute, but it makes a big difference. And 3. Don't bag it. This makes the recycling process faster and more efficient. This is a look at the Republic Services North Florida Recycling Center. You can make this process even more efficient. By utilizing those 3 steps, Republic Services can help you become a better recycler in your home. Learn more at recyclingsimplified.com.
What a throw! Touchdown, Jaguars!
We're coming for you.
They're going to get him on the ground, and that's going to end the ball game.
We show no mercy.
Lawrence looking deep in the end zone. Touchdown!
Duval!
ETN is going to take it all the way.
Right here on CBS 47. CBS 47.
Right here.
Your official station of the Jacksonville Jaguars.
And the Jaguars strike first.
Go Jags.
It can be a silent killer, but awareness is getting louder. Blood clots take more lives each year than car crashes. And just like driving, you have to be defensive. A few easy ways to protect yourself or someone you love are to learn your Caprini risk score and ask your doctor about your blood clot prevention plan. Emily's Promise is a local nonprofit named for Emily Atkins, a young woman from Fernandina Beach who died after a preventable blood clot following a broken ankle. Her legacy is now driving change across Florida. The Emily Atkins Family Protection Act strengthens how hospitals screen for clot risks and train staff to recognize warning signs. Blood clots can affect anyone, including athletes, and the signs can be easy to miss. So be aware, be defensive, and help beat a silent killer with loud attention to risk factors and symptoms. Learn more at emilypromises.com. That's emilypromises.com.
Welcome back to the Brent and Austen Show, streaming on the Action Sports Jax 24/7 network.
Is this the Bills?
Yeah.
Did you ask Hamby to put that up, or was he just putting that up as you were saying it?
Well, I mean, I said it to him, but it just happened to be.
This looks like an XFL uniform, doesn't it? Or a
well,
UFL uniform?
if you get a shot of the helmet, it's just like a stripe.
Huh.
A red stripe.
Yeah, what is this? What kind of uniform is it?
So this is like their alternate. It's being reported as an alternate uniform. I don't know. I don't know if it's part of the rivalry or not.
Well, the AFC South, I think, is doing the rivalry this year.
Yeah.
But I don't know if there are multiple divisions. You know me, big uniform
and listen,
guy
man, I'm kind of the guy that's like, yeah, I'll embrace it. It's a cool uniform, unless it's like the old school Steelers one.
That doesn't look good.
This ain't it though, huh?
Yeah, that ain't it.
Hamby, can we get a picture of just like the helmet?
That really looks like it's out of like.
It's a red stripe on a blue helmet.
I mean, were the Any Given Sunday unis good looking? But it looks like it's out of a movie.
Oh yeah,
you know
the Any Given Sunday. Brent, the Sharks. You kidding me? The Sharks were great.
I got to double check my.
Yeah, I mean, you're. Come on now.
Look at it. Heard me. Oh yeah.
It's the Shark. Well, yeah, the helmet. It's kind of like the Jacksonville Sharks.
Yeah.
Yeah. Steamin' Willie Beeman.
Steamin' Willie Beeman.
Come on now.
Been a long time.
Yeah. Yeah. See, and here's the helmet.
Yeah.
What is that?
Yeah, I don't know.
Do you think
I don't know.
Is Pepsi Cola like a sponsor, or like a RC Cola?
That has an RC Cola feel, doesn't it?
I'm getting a little more thirsty.
Hey, speaking of the Jacksonville Sharks,
nice,
very good segue right across the street. Cody Johnson played on Saturday, and the Sharks played on Sunday. And on Sunday, the Sharks got a big win over Green Bay. That solidified them into the 2 spot. Stuart Weber with some fantastic coverage last night, live on Action Sports Jack's Primetime. And he also caught up with Liam Coen, who did the honorary coin toss to set the stage. You know, Liam played a couple seasons in the Arena League. So if we have that, Hamby, let's take a listen to Liam Coen last night before we take a listen to Liam Coen a bunch over the next little bit.
It's a really cool opportunity for me personally to, do it here in Jacksonville, a place where we have so many friends and family now, and a place that we love, but doing it in an arena football stadium, right? An arena, and it's something that brings you back. I played 2 years in the Arena League, and for Coach to have me come in and just say hello to the team on a night like this, excited and hopefully get a win.
And do you have a favorite memory from your Arena days? I think you kicked more than you quarterbacked.
I didn't play a ton, I was bouncing around. Honestly, the travel with the guys. The sleeper bus from New Hampshire to Iowa, and playing in Iowa Barnstormer Stadium where Kurt Warner played, and the memories of that and being with the guys is really what you remember.
All right, perfect, Coach. We'll see you Wednesday.
Thank you.
Yeah, good stuff with Liam. He enjoyed that. You could tell. I think it's pretty cool. Liam's been, I'm sure people have seen him at restaurants, and sorry, Liam.
Careful.
Restaurants and coffee places, because I've heard that, like coffee in Jack's Beach or whatever. But we've also seen him at the Upshot League debut, the Jacksonville Waves. He was there
sitting courtside
with his wife, and that was cool. Part of that opening night, which was fantastic, by the way. The Waves continue to play very well. They'll have the championship here in Jacksonville August 29th. And then going over to support the Sharks, too. We've seen them throw out the first pitch before at the Jumbo Shrimp. Again, this is different. It's a different place. I'm not sure everybody's doing that at some of those kind of games. I'm sure if we had a Major League Baseball team in town throw out the first pitch at a Marlins game or something like that. But I like when these guys entrench themselves in the community and get out there and reach out and touch people, and our community loves that too. Yeah. And we said this last week now, and I know we're kind of back and forth, a little debate. Okay, who's going to be bigger? Is it Trevor? Is it Travis Hunter? Travis Hunter is such a big entity. Trevor, of course, is as well. But this guy's right there right now in our city. He is a rock star in Jacksonville. And he's handled it well.
Yeah, he's handled it great, right? And it's about finding that balance. And this is it's kind of the beautiful thing about playing in a city like Jacksonville, right, where it does have like a little more of like that hometown, small community type of feel. Like you see them out and about, you say what's up to them. You know, you go to New York and like, dude, you can get lost in the sauce like in New York City
Probably
or
have
in
like
LA.
15 people around them, right?
Of course, without a doubt. So it is a special thing, but at the same time, I feel like when you're in those kind of scenarios, it can be hard to balance sometimes. But so far, so good from Liam Coen. He's done a great job of balancing the city, kind of being the face of the city, if you will, and also being a really good head football coach.
Yeah, well, speaking of the head football coaches coming up and joining us in a moment. So here's what I want to do, Hamby. I want to hit a break one more time because we know we're going to have probably some length, not get to one anytime soon, but also so we can set up things when Liam comes in. So let's do that. Let's hit a break, and we'll come back. And on the other side of things, the Jaguars head coach, Liam Coen, will join us.
And if not, we're going to have a puppy on standby in case some reason he cancels at the very last second. So it's going to be a win-win. Either we get the Jacksonville Jaguars head coach, Liam Coen, or we're going to have a nice puppy for everyone to look at in the stream as well. Stay tuned, and we'll see which one shows up.
We'll be back.
When we say the Action Sports Jacks 24/7 network is everywhere, we mean it. If you don't want to see our ugly faces and you just want to hear our takes, listen to the podcast. It's up 30 minutes after every live show. Spotify, iTunes, Apple, Google Play. It's really that simple. Just pull out your phone. I'm on Spotify, Action Sports Jacks. Every episode is right there, split into hour chunks, so you get exactly what you're looking for.
I think it would be a better chance that Branson Combs wins the weak side linebacker spot than Wyatt Milam wins the right guard spot. And that's more because Patrick McCarry has done more in the league.
Stupid take.
He's more.
Maybe you only have 15 minutes before the kids come home. You don't have time to listen to the full show. You're craving Jags content. The YouTube page is for you. We have a separate playlist called Brent and Austen Show Segments. It's Jags only conversations right there every day. Subscribe. Don't miss any Jags content. Action Sports Jacks.
If you don't see a pit, it ain't legit. When you hear that, you think Bono's Pit Barbecue, a staple in Northeast Florida now for 75 years. A place that feels like home with friendly service, a meeting place for friends, family, or business occasions. On the menu, the corn nuggets are a favorite in our house, but there's something for everyone. Sandwiches, platters, salads, sides, desserts, and family feasts. You see Bono's all over the place in Northeast Florida. You know, there are almost 20 locations in the Jacksonville area now, so stop on by, sit down, and dine in with Bono's. You can also take it to go. There are drive-thrus in many of the locations, and they have delivery options too. Just download the Bono's app to make things easy. I signed up for the loyalty program, and you can too, to get special offers. If Jacksonville is home, few things feel more Jacksonville than Bono's Pit Barbecue. Celebrate 75 years and many more to come. Bono's Pit Barbecue. If you don't see a pit, it ain't legit.
In this video, I'm going to show you how to easily access Action News Jacks Now using your Roku device. First, launch Roku. Next, use the menu list to scroll down to the search feature. Then, use the remote to enter Action News Jacks into the search bar, and then click Action News Jacks thumbnail. Once you see this screen, go ahead and select Add App. Wait a few seconds for it to install. Once it finishes installing, press the star button on your remote and click on Move App or Move App to the top. Finally, select the app back on your home screen to open it. Now you can watch all the great content on Action News Jacks Now. Live daily breaking news.
We have breaking news happening right now in Clay County.
First alert weather and traffic.
Looks like we have a tornado warning. Let's take a look at that.
Action Sports Jacks 24/7.
We've got the Brent and Austen Show daily, live sporting events, and long-form interviews you can't see anywhere else.
And shows like Law and Crime and much more. And that's how you access Action News Jacks Now using your Roku device.
Baker's Sports. It's a hometown business filled with hometown people trying to make you feel right at home.
Chris Conley, Jacksonville University.
Walker Wright, class of 2018, West Nassau High School.
Michael Young, Fletcher High School.
Baker's Sports started in a grassroots way and now outfits much of the Southeast.
Samuel Coffrin, Paxton School for Advanced Studies.
High school sports, travel sports, youth sports of all kinds. They are a one-stop shop carrying Nike, Adidas, Under Armour brands, and more.
Vincent Caldes, Oak Leaf High School.
Tony Mazzio, Sandwood High School, class of 2002.
Whether it's sports teams on the field or it's your team in the workplace, like our Action Sports Jacks team, and community events like the Dream 18 Golf Tournament, and many others.
Colt Tilly, Hilliard High School.
Reagan Webb, Eagles View Academy.
Look good, Feel good, play good with Baker Sports. Custom sports apparel since 1997. Shop with the hometown team at bakersport.com.
Action Sports Jacks 24/7 is your home for high school football in the 904. Get ready for each week of action Tuesday nights at 8 o'clock with the Blitz Breakdown, talking everything high school football in the Jacksonville area. And when the lights get bright on Friday night, Action Sports Jacks 24/7 is there with live broadcasts of our game of the week and the Friday night Zone Blitz, giving you live looks into the biggest games in the area and coverage lasting until midnight.
Here's the kick, the snap, the hold, the kick is blocked!
And they're going for the end zone, and they got a guy! Touchdown!
Find these broadcasts available on YouTube, X, Facebook, and of course, ActionSportsJacks.com. And the action doesn't stop there. Find even more high school football on the Action Sports Jacks social channels with content posted throughout the week. When you're looking for the best high school football coverage in the 904, Action Sports Jacks 24/7 is ready for the Blitz.
So I don't ever believe him.
Yeah, be careful.
Hey, welcome back, everybody. The Jags headquarters. There's a look at the Miller Electric Center, and a little bit quiet right now. That place will be rocking at 8:30 in the morning on Wednesday for the first day of training camp 2026. And it's been a nice summer. It was a nice offseason to enjoy what the Jags did last year, but we're ready to rock and roll, and so is this guy. Brent Martineau, Austen Lane, Brent and Austin Show on the Action Sports Jacks 24/7 Network. And say hello to Liam Coen, who has joined us, the head coach of the Jacksonville Jaguars. I guess I have to ask, are you excited to be back? But I know you're excited to be back.
Oh, yeah, of course. I mean, it's football, right?
Yeah.
And thanks for having me on, guys. I appreciate it as well. But it's, like I was just saying, you start to get the itch again to get back in the building, to get back with the guys, the coaches, the staff, the players. And once you start getting that itch, it's hard to not scratch it. And so we're here, and very fortunate to be able to come in, relatively healthy.
Yeah, Austin really likes when I talk golf, so I really want to get this out of the way right now. How was the golf in England? Did you let your dad win? Because I got a kid now that beats me all the time, and I feel like I feel for your dad more than I feel for you. And also, was Wimbledon pretty good?
It was. We had a great trip. We did 5 days of golf in the Liverpool, Manchester area. So right next to Birkdale, we played Hillside.
Oh, cool.
And so we saw Birkdale with all the stands, the grandstands, everything set up for the Open. And then Wimbledon was a blast, getting to see Alexander Zverev play. We saw Serena play. So it was really cool to just be out there. I mean, we got tours of Fulham, Liverpool, and then as well as Everton. So got a full Fulham tour. And so that was really cool to see. And so sports were definitely on the mind all summer. It was great.
Coach, training camp starting up pretty soon and everything, a new season.
Yeah.
And you said it many times of how hard it is to repeat from having such a successful first season, if you will. What is the motivation this year? Are you looking back on the Bills film? Is that what's going to be the motivating factor? Are you still looking at sound bites where you guys are going to rank in the power rankings? Like, where do you find motivation to come out the gates right away and come out with your hair on fire like you did last season?
Yeah, I think that the motivation so much for us, I think, and just talking to a few of the players on the field just now, was like we know we left some meat on the bone at the end of the year. And so you're playing good football to go out not playing your best football, and that's the last time that we competed, right? And so that taste is absolutely still in your mouth. It is. Now, that was a different year, that's a different team, but that is the last time that we competed, right? And so that is still in our craw. And I think that's what's cool is you bring back a lot of really good players. We have to see some positions shake out at some other positions where we lost really good players, but that's why we do this. That's why we compete in the National Football League. And, there's no secret, right? For the next 2 years, the Jacksonville Jaguars, we're not going to be here very often.
Yeah.
So our whole mindset and mentality is, anytime, any place, anybody, doesn't matter.
Yeah, it has to be.
Like drop us in on a helicopter, we'll play you. Mm-hmm. It doesn't matter where, what time, who. It just doesn't matter. Mm-hmm. And it's not going to be an excuse. It's not going to be a reason. We have to be able to go out and put a product on the field that we're proud of, that we respect as an organization and as a fan base, for that reason alone.
I guess you answered my question without even me asking it, how you're going to approach it, because you're already getting after that message.
That's
it's
right.
32 of the next 40 games on the road, away from Jacksonville.
That's right.
And so you have to almost address that, right, and tackle this pretty early on. Because, I mean, listen, bottom line is you're at a disadvantage compared to everybody else around the National Football League.
That would be the perception. That would. I mean, that would be the reason. That would be the excuse or whatever it is, right? It is. It is what it is. It's a fact. But that cannot seep into anything that we do. Everything, how we train in the meetings, in the weight room, in the practices, in the walkthroughs, everything that we're doing in the joints, we are training anytime, any place, anybody. Doesn't matter. Like, that's what the mindset that we are training. That is the entire message to the team tomorrow when they get here is that's got to be our mindset and mentality. And if you work for the Jacksonville Jaguars, your check is signed by the Jacksonville Jaguars. I don't care if you're an undrafted free agent, rookie, 13-year vet, working on it, don't have a contract, have a contract. You're a part of this. You are here for it. You're all in, and we're going to work.
Coach, you mentioned, the guys coming back a little bit. I mean, well, let's talk about the wide receiving group. It might be one of the most deep in the NFL. I mean, you have Brian Thomas Jr., you have Parker Washington, you have Jacoby Myers, and Travis Hunter.
Yep.
And any given Sunday, any of those guys can get 100 yards receiving, right? And I don't think a lot of NFL teams can really say that in 4 guys.
Right.
So the question for you then is, how come I keep on hearing 12 and 13 personnel if you have wide receivers and then a quarterback in Trevor Lawrence that can obviously give them the football?
Yeah, look, it's going to always be a balance. It's always going to be players over plays. I mean, we have a philosophy, an identity, but at the end of the day, we're going to play the best 11, right? And so we're never going to just live in one personnel grouping. That's just, you become a little bit too predictable. You want to be able to see different defensive structures at times, whether it's in nickel or base defense, and some of those different personnel groupings elicit maybe structures that you want to see more of or less of, right? And so each week will always be a little bit different. Right now, we're still an 11 and 12 personnel team, guys. You know what I mean? Like, that's why we drafted with tight ends, was to continue to elevate that room, continue to get better players in there in competition, and be able to sprinkle heavier packages in just like everybody else is, So our best players and skill players are those wideouts right now in a lot of ways. So we got to get them the ball.
And you said it, right? I mean, it's no secret that you want to run the football as well, right? I mean, I think you have to in the NFL.
Right.
You lose a guy in Travis Etienne or Etienne. I'm not sure what we're calling him now, but you lose that guy, right, when you had a chance to maybe bring him back. What has Tootin, Rodriguez, and those guys showed you where it's like you're okay with losing really a dependable piece last year in Travis Etienne?
Yeah, I mean, here's the thing. They haven't, I guess, quite proven it yet, right? Yeah. And it's so hard to evaluate running backs until you play tackle football. It just is. What I believe in is I think Tootin is going to continue to ascend. Hopefully, that's the goal, right? I thought he had a very good spring in the limited action that you can really evaluate a running back in. I've worked with Chris. I know what he's about. I know what he brings to the table, and that's efficiency, right? It's very difficult to create explosives in the run game in the NFL. It just is. You talk about how many 40-yard runs are there on a weekly basis in the National Football League. Like, it's not that many. So what we're hunting up is efficiency, right? 4, 6, 8, 10, 4, 6, 8, 10, and then, all right, fourth quarter, now you maybe get them and you can hit something. So are we going to lose some of the explosiveness that TJ provided us? Absolutely. We're never going to be able to replace what he did for us last year. But we got to evolve. We have to. I mean, that's just the way this thing goes. You can't pay everybody. You would love to. You'd love to be able to provide that. But at the end of the day, you've got to be able to evolve and adjust, and these guys are a huge part of that.
And just a note on that, by the way, still maybe the eye-popping stat from last season that I saw somewhere in the offseason, I think the Jags were 31st in the league on third down and to-go yardage, which, given the fact of where this offense was, really surprised me. But I think that's what Coach is talking about, trying to get a little bit more on those first and second downs, put you in manageable spots. Fantasy people are going to hate you. You're ready for that, right?
They all hate me anyway. I mean, it's like at this point, you're right, though. We were in much too many what we call get-back-on-track situations where you're in 2nd and 8 plus. Way too far often. And so that is something that, as a play caller especially, you don't want to live in that world because you are off schedule. You're off track.
Percentage is way down.
That's right. And so as good as we became in the red zone and Trevor using his legs on third down, we do have to be in much more manageable situations and down and distances, especially on those second downs and those third downs.
All right, what does the next step look like for Trevor? What do you think? We all have our opinions.
Yeah.
How would you describe the next step for Trevor Lawrence?
Yeah, I think it's when we get in here and start practicing on Wednesday, we're seeing the version of him in a lot of ways that we've all really enjoyed watching towards the back half of the season, and then towards the end of spring practice that we saw him really light it up like those last 8 practices or so. Is just starting fast, right? Like, let's get this thing started off the right way. The chemistry always does take some time when you've taken a little vacation time off, but I'd like to see him operating and making the right decisions on Wednesday, Thursday as we kind of start this thing off, making the right decisions, getting the ball in the right places, running the show. He gets it now. He just – I don't think he's ever walking up to the line of scrimmage like, man, what am I about to do right now? What is my footwork? What is this read? What is this? What am I doing? And so that is the next step is, man, like, just go play. What we said to him, when we told him go let it rip, like, that's just got to be you. Yeah. That's just who you are. And if it's not there, use your legs as a weapon. And that opened up so much for our offense. But it also, I think, allowed him to go play freely, and that's really what we're hunting up is, man, just go be you today, tomorrow. Like, right now, the time is now.
Everybody wants to know wristband or no wristband.
Yeah, we'll continue to do it. Yeah, I mean, it's not the whole
Listen, I'd be wearing the same underwear I played
with
last year at the last 2 months.
Yeah, to me, it's more just about, hey, we'll have a good amount of stuff on there, and a lot won't be called on there, right? So it's, hey, what are the longer calls or things that we maybe have to have some reminders on or whatever it is? We'll continue to utilize it, though.
Coach, I think lost it, in the success that you had this past season. I mean, everything wasn't perfect, and one of those things, meaning the penalties, right?
Mm-hmm.
You guys were third in terms of total number of penalties last season. Is that something that you're going to address? Is that something that really sticks out to you? And I guess going forward, how do you improve on that number?
Yeah, that is a huge point of emphasis for us, actually. We ended up, we have our style of play in which was fundamentally sound, attacking, situational, masters, and tough. Well, we have tweaked that to fundamentally sharp, attacking, situation, masters, tough. So it's always an evolution, right? And so early on in the year, especially, I'm just telling you, not every NFL player is going to be playing 100 miles an hour, 100%, just balls to the wall. We have to play cleaner, especially early on when there is a little bit of a ramp up in the league. And you can't just win games by a bloodbath every week and coming down and having or come back and whatever it is. I'd like to see us practice cleaner, sharper, fundamentally, more intentional. And then especially when we get to the joint practices, like, all right, guys, just because we're competing against somebody else doesn't mean we have to just go mental and berserk and just kill each other, right? Let's let's stay off the ground against one another. I don't want to see, if we're not in pads, I don't want to see guys on the ground hitting each other. And then the details, right? The operation, I think all that kind of improved throughout the end of the year once they understood. But the cleanliness, the detail, just playing smart, detailed football is a huge point of emphasis. Really, those two things is the AAA and the details and cleaning up some of that is really the emphasis of this training camp.
I never did look up the numbers, but it did feel like the first half was more like unclean.
Yeah.
And the second half, obviously, when you guys got rolling, pared it down, found what you liked, it was definitely a little bit better.
Yeah.
And the results showcase that. A few things of business. Cole Van Landen on the pup. How concerning is that injury coming off last year? I know you have 6 weeks, 7 weeks to get to the regular season.
Yeah, I feel very confident in that right now. I think he's looking great in terms of throughout his rehab process. He's the type of person that has taken this and used it to find maybe some areas of weakness in his game or in his body that he can go attack. And that's how he's used this entire rehab process is, yes, I have to rehab a knee, but, man, where are some of the areas in which I was deficient, whether it's in the weight room, in strength and conditioning, in the therapy, in the fundamentals, technique, his scheme, whatever it is. I think he's attacked it the right way. He'll continue to attack it the right way. And when he's able to go on the grass for us, I feel very confident that he'll be able to get back to his self and his best self quickly.
I know you don't negotiate contracts, but you guys, Trayvon Walker, obviously Brent Strange, we feel like Parker Washington is next. Do you concern yourself at all with that? Do you have conversations with Parker? Is he in a good place going into camp, even though that hasn't been done yet?
I texted Parker last week, just a little, here we go, man. Let's get ready to go. And he's like, I'm ready to kill. I'm ready to go. Yeah. And that's all I need to hear from him. Mm-hmm. That stuff really does truly work itself out. Mm-hmm. I've always been super impressed with Parker, his work ethic, his preparation. He's usually the first guy in the building. Him and Trevor really have continued to build chemistry and a connection. That's something that we all appreciate and respect a ton. And so whether he's signed pre-training camp and during training camp, I have a lot of confidence that we're going to get the best version of Parker Washington.
We're seeing stuff on Travis Hunter.
Yeah.
He looks fantastic from our view.
Yeah.
I'm not going to ask you the question everybody's been asking. We know he's going to play both sides of the ball. You guys have said that in front of a microphone quite a bit. But is he ahead of where you thought he might be? Is he wowing you? At least from some of the clips, it sounds like he might be.
Yeah.
Gained 13 pounds, I think.
Yeah.
22.6 mph. There's some impressive stuff.
It is.
Safety, or what is he playing now?
Geez, man. The more you can do, right? The more you can do. But no, I have been very pleased with the way that, again, similar to Cole, that he attacked his rehab. Again, a blessing in some ways in disguise, in which, man, very unfortunate to have occurred, but gave him the platform and opportunity to go work on other things, other parts of his game and his body that he wanted to go attack. He's done it the right way. He definitely looks different in terms of the way he's structured and built. His neck and traps and legs. He does. He's put on over 10 pounds of muscle, which is something that, you can really appreciate, and I think is only going to help him as he goes. He said he feels lighter when he's running around, which is a good thing. And so, look, I'm just excited to get him back out in formations and line up and play football, right? It's been a long time since he's done that. No matter what he's been doing this whole time, it's not football training, so it's going to be a little bit of an acclimation period. We have to be smart and protect him a lot of times from himself, because he's going to want to just do everything. Yeah. And so we have to be diligent and intentional about his workload, but definitely pleased with the off-season work.
Coach, appreciate you stopping by, man. I want to have a little fun with you. There's a growing legend that I read about where you drew up your first play in your dad's office at 4 years old.
Yeah.
All right. And you're 40 years old now, correct?
Yeah.
Well, so that gives you 36 years of play designing experience.
Right. Yeah.
We have a whiteboard and we have a black marker.
Props, Coach.
Can draw up in those 36 years the best play, your most favorite play that you've ever drawn up, and then can you please share it and explain it with us?
Oh, man, the best play ever.
I thought you were going to ask him to do the play at 3 years old.
That's what I thought. I had that ready to go. I had that. That was wishbone.
Yeah.
That was wishbone, double tight belly. But all right, let's see. What's the best play?
The one that means the most to you.
The one that means the most.
Of course,
man.
he can't give away secrets in this answer.
Hey, man. Hey, let him cook, Brent.
Let me think here. I mean, I would have to go with probably one of the more consistent plays that we have that Trevor, these guys are very comfortable with. Mm-hmm. That, let me see here. So we're in bunch right. We've got BT over here on a little stutter. Go. Clear out. Dagger, get a little chip, coin route, guard pull. Excuse me, the back's on the wrong side. He'll flash across. He's your flare control. And Trevor's going to pull up and throw the ball right here.
Okay.
In the middle of the field. But if we get free safety cheat this way, we got BT one-on-one. If the safety split and get off, we got Parker right down the middle of the field. And then Jacoby doing what he does best.
Yeah, absolutely.
Ripping on in the middle of the field. So we call that the dagger concept.
Okay.
And I would just say it's a concept that I've gotten very, familiar with. I actually enjoyed as a player myself.
Yeah.
And then these guys, like you go back to Denver, You go back to Indy at the end of the year. You go back to Tennessee. That's the throw that he got 4,000 yards on to Parker.
Yeah.
So that concept, I think in general, as you've evolved as a coach and figure out, okay, what do you like? What's your foundational beliefs on spreading the field and getting guys in spots that they can be themselves at and be their best version of themselves in, but also what's the quarterback most comfortable doing? And you provide some options. It's really a three-man with a couple checkdowns, but you're distributing the field in a way that lets your quarterback do what he does best and throw the ball where he likes to throw it best. So I would say that's Bunch Wright, Laker, all right, Z Dagger.
And by the way, I think just a quick comment from a very novice X's and O guy, like not even close to knowing what the heck's going on. But I feel like you put the pressure on the defense.
Yeah.
Because you make them make a little decision.
Yeah, you got to make some decisions.
Dictate, right,
yeah, you're dictating terms because you're putting your guys in spots on the field to attack it vertically while also having the intermediate of the field open if it's declared. And then also, okay, man, they've sunk underneath it all. I got Strange, I got my tight end or my halfback on a check down. That'd be able to provide a little bit of relief for the quarterback.
Coach, I went to Murray State, man, and I was a little bitter because I never got to play tight end in their offense. But now seeing you draw this up, I'm also reminded why I played defense, man. Thank you very much for that crash course of reality. Because just when I think I know what you're talking about on offense, you throw a dagger at me, and I'm all confused once again. I got one more thing for you, man. Yeah. So, Handy, can you bring up the picture? Hopefully we can see it in the stream.
Oh, that's right. I almost forgot about this.
So this Louis Vuitton bomber jacket made an appearance a couple of times I saw in press conferences, Radio Row in the Super Bowl. Like you see
Jaguars
like
All
this.
Access.
Jaguars All Access.
Yeah.
Coach, was this your doing? Is this your wife's doing? And can we expect something maybe a little more extravagant this year? Grills, chain, mink coat, or anything?
No. See, I cannot take any credit for any of these fits. This is definitely Ashley. Providing me a little swag because if it was up to me, I would wear a hoodie. Every day.
Fair.
James, Tony, and I literally, if we could choose to wear this, I would wear this every single day. I wear a hood on game days. I would wear a hoodie. I think I have one on here.
You do?
So
you tied it in.
Yeah. So if it was up to me, so Ashley definitely has to help provide me a little swag, and
she's doing a great job, man.
She has.
She's crushing it.
Yeah, we did. We had a nice trip to Europe this summer, and we were buzzing around. I did not shop. We did not shop. We did not. It was great. We came back unscathed, and I don't know how much new clothes I have for the fall, but I'm sure the players will give me a hard time if I re-rack too many.
There you go.
As we wrap this thing up, I can't help but put a bow on what you just said with what transpired about 16 months ago when you got the job. I mean, what a wild time it must have been for you where you have to make this life-changing decision. And now, as it turns out, in hindsight, certainly looks like it was the right decision.
Right.
Have you replayed that at all? And how life-changing has this last 16 months been? I know you're back in the Rhode Island days when you're playing quarterback, and now all of a sudden, Liam Coen is Coach of the Year candidate and helping turn this organization around. And obviously, some of the things family-wise, everything. And you're in the spotlight, by the way, which can be good or bad. Fantasy people don't like you.
No, they do not. No, they do not. The word that comes to mind is gratitude. Yeah. That's what comes to mind with the opportunity that I was provided, right? I mean, you earn everything that you get in life. I do believe that. But somebody has to take a chance on you. Somebody has to provide those opportunities when you haven't proven yourself to maybe do the job that you're going to try to do. And that's what Shad has been able to provide. And that comes along with a lot, right? That comes a lot with, for my family, as you mentioned, the ability to, give your kids a better life maybe than you had growing up. And that's really cool. That is. I mean, you've dreamt your entire life about being on this stage, right? Like, I wanted to play. Wanted to play. Well, that didn't happen. So what's next, right? What's the next best thing that you could possibly dream of to do in life is I get to live out a dream every day. And so you try not to take that for granted. You do have to pinch yourself, but extremely a lot of gratitude towards the people that have helped get me to this point.
It was a good start, but I heard you say in, I think, the hunt, year 2 is the year.
That's right. It is.
Why is that? And specifically with this organization, I feel like you're absolutely right. Have not gone back-to-back postseason since 1999. I'm sure you're aware of that. But Why? Why is year 2 the most important year?
Because I believe consistency is the truest measure of performance. And so we want respect, right? Like a lot of players when I got here, we're talking about, don't have a lot of respect. And they're not talking about the media. It's peers, right? That's so much in the NFL, I believe, in playing at the highest level of sport. Yes, it's about championships, right? But when your career is done and your time is done at a place, I think you'd love for the people that you are around to say, man, I respected the heck out of that guy as a competitor, as a teammate, whatever it is, right? And so we feel no different about organizations, about teams. You want respect. You want to earn and take respect because the money, the fame, the wins, all that stuff, like it is going to somehow go away. But respect, I believe, when you think about people in life that you respect, man, you're always going to remember that. And so to me, the consistency of doing it, and man, that's just who we are. This is a part of our fiber. It's a part of our being. We wake up and brush our teeth and go to work every single day, and we're respected. And that's what consistency does. So year 2, man, it's about consistency. I can't promise 13 wins. I can't promise this and that. But I can say, man, we are hunting up respect, and that's more about us, right? And here, our peers, the other players, coaches, whatever it is around the league, and your legacy. What do you want your legacy to be as a Jag?
I got goosebumps, man.
Yeah, it's good stuff.
I'm going to put the show on time tomorrow.
Yeah. Oh, good. You were actually early today.
I was early today.
You were good today.
Yeah.
Noah has asked me to ask this question for you twice. I think it's a great question. You have edge inside the building.
Yeah.
What is your edge as a coach?
I think, I think something about consistently trying to, you have to be intentional and deliberate about finding edges and creating them, right? And so I think that is something that I've always strived to do, whether it was as a player, early years of coaching, tirelessly working to find edges. And that's within your fundamentals and technique, your scheme, your leadership, the building, the personnel, in the athletic training room. I mean, I think what's really cool about what happened last year was obviously the success, but our athletic training getting, rewarded for that, strength and conditioning. That means that we found an edge, that we have an edge. And to me as a coach, that is something I strive to try to pursue on a day-to-day basis. And whether you're a winner or a loser, doesn't matter. We're freaking competitors, and you're competing to try to find an edge every single day. And if anything, I think it's that.
Liam Coen, appreciate all the time, man.
Thank you, guys.
Thanks for stopping by.
Yeah, I appreciate
Good luck
it.
in camp.
Thanks,
Good luck
Austin.
this year. We'll see you Wednesday here at camp. Brent Martineau Show, Action Sports Jacks 24/7 Network, live from Jags headquarters.
When we say the Action Sports Jacks 24/7 Network is everywhere, we mean it. If you don't want to see our ugly faces and you just want to hear our takes, listen to the podcast. It's up 30 minutes after every live show. Spotify, iTunes, Apple, Google Play. It's really that simple. Just pull out your phone. I'm on Spotify, Action Sports Jacks. Every episode is right there, split into hour chunks, so you get exactly what you're looking for.
I think it would be a better chance that Branson Combs wins the weak side linebacker spot than Wyatt Milam wins the right guard spot. And that's more because Patrick Bakari has done more in the league.
Stupid take.
He's more.
Maybe you only have 15 minutes before the kids come home. You don't have time to listen to the full show. You're craving Jags content. The YouTube page is for you. We have a separate playlist called Brent and Austen Show Segments. It's Jags-only conversations right there every day. Subscribe. Don't miss any Jags content. Action Sports Jacks.
If you don't see a pit, it ain't legit. When you hear that, you think Bono's Pit Barbecue, a staple in Northeast Florida now for 75 years. A place that feels like home with friendly service, a meeting place for friends, family, or business occasions. On the menu, the corn nuggets are a favorite in our house, but there's something for everyone. Sandwiches, platters, salads, sides, desserts, and family feasts. You see Bono's all over the place in Northeast Florida. You know, there are almost 20 locations in the Jacksonville area now, so stop on by, sit down, and dine in with Bono's. You can also take it to go. There are drive-thrus in many of the locations, and they have delivery options too. Just download the Bono's app to make things easy.
I signed up for the loyalty program, and you can too, to get special offers. If Jacksonville is home, few things feel more Jacksonville than Bono's Pit Barbecue. Celebrate 75 years and many more to come. Bono's Pit Barbecue. If you don't see a pit, it ain't legit.
In this video, I'm going to show you how to easily access Action News Jax Now using your Roku device. First, launch Roku. Next, use the menu list to scroll down to the search feature. Then, use the remote to enter Action News Jax into the search bar, and then click Action News Jax thumbnail. Once you see this screen, go ahead and select Add App. Wait a few seconds for it to install. Once it finishes installing, press the star button on your remote and click on Move App or Move App to the top. Finally, select the app back on your home screen to open it. Now you can watch all the great content on Action News Jax Now. Live daily breaking news.
We have breaking news happening right now in Clay County.
First alert weather and traffic.
Looks like we have a tornado warning. Let's take a look at that.
Action Sports Jax 24/7.
We've got the Brent and Austen Show daily, live sporting events, and long-form interviews you can't see anywhere else.
And shows like Law and Crime and much more. And that's how you access Action News Jax Now using your Roku device.
Baker's Sports. It's a hometown business filled with hometown people trying to make you feel right at home.
Chris Conley, Jacksonville University.
Walker Wright, class of 2018, West Nassau High School.
Michael Young, Fletcher High School.
Baker's Sports started in a grassroots way and now outfits much of the Southeast.
Samuel Coffrin, Paxton School for Advanced Studies.
High school sports, travel sports, youth sports of all kinds. They are a one-stop shop carrying Nike, Adidas, Under Armour brands, and more.
Vincent Caldes, Oakleaf High School.
Tony Mazzio, Sandwood High School, class of 2002.
Whether it's sports teams on the field or it's your team in the workplace, like our Action Sports Jacks team, and community events like the Dream 18 Golf Tournament, and many others.
Cole Tilley, Hilliard High School.
Reagan Webb, Eagles View Academy.
Look good, feel good, play good with Baker Sports. Custom sports apparel since 1997. Shop with the hometown team at bakersport.com.
Action Sports Jax 24/7 is your home for high school football in the 904. Get ready for each week of action Tuesday nights at 8 o'clock with the Blitz Breakdown, talking everything high school football in the Jacksonville area. And when the lights get bright on Friday night, Action Sports Jax 24/7 is there with live broadcasts of our game of the week and the Friday night Zone Blitz, giving you live looks into the biggest games in the area and coverage lasting until midnight.
Here's the kick, the snap, the hold, the kick is blocked!
And they're going for the end zone, and they got a guy! Touchdown! And one!
Find these broadcasts available on YouTube, X, Facebook, and of course, ActionSportsJax.com. And the action doesn't stop there. Find even more high school football on the Action Sports Jax social channels with content posted throughout the week. When you're looking for the best high school football coverage in the 904, Action Sports Jax 24/7 is ready for the Blitz.
Hey, BJ.
Welcome back, everybody. I think we are back. Yes, we were just talking about Liam Coen and what he drew up on the board, and then we said, "Hey, what are we going to have Trevor draw up?" I said, "I don't know. I think it was nice just to have Liam draw."
Yeah.
Well, like you said, we have every player come in. That'll be the thing. That'll be the Brent and Austen show. You got to draw up on the whiteboard. That's your whiteboard stuff from
That's the
years
whiteboard
ago.
stuff, man. But I'm glad my research proved true as well, because like I read the story where he was 4 years old.
Oh yeah, no, that's a legit story.
Yeah, for sure.
I talked to his dad a little bit about it, and that was real. And you know, Liam, I guess I could slide over a little bit, huh? So until we
you're okay, man. It's cool. Come get cozy.
Get
You're
nice
all right.
and cozy.
You're fine.
We're expected to get Trevor Lawrence on just a little bit, just to give everybody a heads up. We think we'll go over with the show today. So we've been getting off around noon here in the off season and maybe even through a little bit of camp, but we'll hang on until Trevor gets here. We know he's doing some work, getting a lift in, and then he's going to pop up for a few minutes.
Hopefully that'll be cool with everybody else, like the sponsors and everything. Hopefully
I think
they'll be okay with that.
I think
and if
everybody
not,
will be okay.
we'll have a puppy, man. We're all good.
The puppy returns.
What are you going to say?
What are you going to say about it? Yeah. I still think the cool part about Liam, one is he gave us a bunch of time, and we appreciate that because we could just
that is the coolest part.
I mean, you could and then Hamby said, "Oh, you forgot to ask." I was like, "I know, but we asked him a million things. Like it's hard to. You could sit here for 2 hours, right?" But we appreciate his time because a lot of times you can feel like rushed. You never feel that. So I appreciate his insight and his time and ahead of camp and the Jags for making this happen, and also Trevor here in a little bit. We appreciate it. But you go back to that wishbone at 4 years old, and that's where it started. And I'm just keen to this part of the story that he has worked with McVay. He watched as a kid the Belichick and Brady era. But the most important figure to him in his coaching is his dad, who was a high school coach and a college coach at a small level, not like at Alabama. Which also, again, goes back to our conversation last year that showcases guys like Anthony Campanile saying, hey, there's not that much difference. And there are a lot of good coaches in high school that come out of there. But the impact that his dad had living in that house and seeing it firsthand, how his relationships were with players, obviously the X's and O's part of it. And then he said, what did he say? He got his PhD basically when he went with Sean McVay.
Correct.
And he learned even so much more probably from culture to X's and O's and everything else. So that's just anybody in life is going to grow more. But how much he says about his dad and the impact of that and what you see in Liam Coen as a coach that worked so well in year one has really was born and bred from his dad, Tim Coen.
It's everything, man, and I say it all the time. Being a parent is the best job in the world, you know. And I spoke very highly of my grandfather, who was a big influence, who taught me how to be a man, and I had a great stepfather as well. And that's what it is, man. Like, yes, athleticism and yes, genetics and all this stuff, but really what it comes down to is the environment that you're raised in, right? And then that's where parents step in and hopefully provide a positive environment and a hardworking environment. And you know, hearing Liam Coen speak so highly of his father, man, it's just it's something that I aspire to be for my son one day, right? Like, I think that's probably the ultimate testament, and he talked about it, is respect, right? Like the Super Bowls, the accolades, the All Pros, the Pro Bowls, they come and go, but respect will stay forever. And thankfully in the Lane household, respect is a big thing that I try to preach to my son.
Yeah, that was an interesting way to answer that, right? Because that's a wide open deal on year two. What are the Jags getting after? And again, I think around here, we are looking for a sustainable winner. What Shad Khan's looking for is a sustainable winner. What Tony Baselli, James Gladstone, Liam Coen, consistent success. Like, that's what you want to see. We just have not felt that here in Jacksonville. Like, that is a big hole in the Jacksonville fandom. But he's trying to get that, but it's not the only thing. What motivates the players? Obviously, you go back to respect and how he answered that. So I thought that was pretty cool to you know, it's not just as simple as, hey, let's go make playoffs back-to-back for the first time since 1999. It's bigger than that. It's deeper than that. And it goes beyond year two. Like, so if you look at some of I reference this quite a bit, if you look at a lot of the college coaching programs like Georgia and Oklahoma, Bob Stoops, like, year two is a huge year in college programs. I guess I never really marry that with the NFL as much, but it's pretty apparent that year two is a huge year here in Jacksonville to finally get this thing going. And the tentacles around that are what's happening right outside this building, what's happening everywhere else, that if you can ride this into the next decade, I just always feel like that's like a tidal wave of momentum that brings you into the 2030s and now really has this franchise in almost like a 1995 to 1999 situation where, hey, some people remember that, some people don't. And very few people outside of Jacksonville remember that now. They look at the Jags as more perennial losers. So you really have a chance here because of what you did in year one. Probably got way ahead of schedule, quite frankly, in year one with the 13 wins and winning the division the way you did. But you got the building block, and it's kind of like a baseball guy who ends up hitting like 360. It's really hard to hit 360 if you don't get off to a good start.
Without a doubt.
Right? But once you do that, you put yourself in position to do. Well, the Jags have put themselves in a position to really speed this process up because of what they did in the foundation year last year.
Well, and what I'm really curious to see, and this is going to more of like the mental side, just kind of get deep in psychology a little bit, but no one really expected a lot from the Jacksonville Jaguars last year. And that was their rallying cry. That's what Liam Coen used in team meetings and everything. But that's what this team used, I think, to rally behind. It's, listen, if you're an underdog and no one's believing in you, you got nothing to lose. So I think that allows you to play a little more free and allows you to do your thing. How do you handle expectations now when everyone's expecting you to do what you did last year? See, that's going to provide more pressure. You don't have the underdog role anymore.
Yeah.
You can't play free and loose, even though you want to, but now expectations are set forth. So how do you find that motivation? How do you still play, even keel, and how do you play free? And that's going to be, I think, the ultimate question in terms of psychology this year with Liam Coen and the Jaguars. And that's why I feel like a lot of teams have that problem year number 2 after exceeding expectations the first year of trying to rally behind for that second year.
Well, I think I wanted to kind of bounce back at him. I was like, well, we got some other things to get to. And I feel like I know what his answer would be because we talked about it earlier in the show. Mm-hmm. I think so much of what you just said there, again, goes back to the locker room. Is the locker room ready? And maybe it's a question for Trevor. Like, is the locker room ready to take on that ownership, that edge, that pissiness, that we left meat on the bone, like we're not satisfied? Like, do they embody that? And again, I don't know if you can fully know that unless you're in the building all the time and around the locker room and around those guys and in meeting rooms and on the practice field. Like, we would not be able to tell that. Yeah. But I do think that's like the most important thing. And I do think the locker room is built with players that are ready to do that. And you have Eric Armstead who's seen it from an older standpoint, actual age-wise, and then you have veterans who have been around here, specifically this program, for a bit, the ups and downs, and then you have young guys, quite frankly, to me, that are young by age, but not really by the way they hold themselves, and that's the Brenton Strangers of the world, the Parker Washingtons of the world, and the list goes on and on. I mean, they just don't feel young, and I mean, even Travis Hunter, what he's done to get himself ready, he feels playful, he feels like a kid, like he feels in many respects 22 years old a lot of times. But I think the way he just handled this doesn't feel that at all, right? I mean, there's just a maturity about him, about this locker room that I think he feels probably pretty comfortable that they can take this on.
No, well, without a doubt. And once again, you're going to have Liam Coen kind of being like that guiding light or whatever, that beacon. But at the end of the day, you're going to want these guys to take over and think for themselves. And that's, I talked about it before in the show earlier today. That's what builds a culture right there.
A couple of things from what Liam said. Anything, I mean, there's a lot that he just said. Of course, it'll be up on the podcast, anywhere you find the podcast, a little bit after the show. Just a note, we usually, right about now, we'll finish up the show. We're not doing that. We're going to hang on for a bit because Trevor Lawrence is making his way here in short order as well. So really fun Monday to start football season with Liam Coen and Trevor Lawrence stopping by the Brent Austen show. But I've seen some tweets that Noah and Hamby put out during the interview, and he said we have to play cleaner. To your question, about, and you brought this up last week about the penalties, and you asked him about it, and it's you. I like the word they use a lot, whether it's Gladstone or Liam. They say intentional, and he referenced Brian Thomas Jr. and Trevor Lawrence's connection and chemistry was intentional in the spring and early summer. Well, it's pretty obvious that it'll be intentional to work on cleaning up the football. Especially from an operations standpoint.
No, without a doubt, and that's a big deal, right? When you talk about your third and penalties, if you want to be a Super Bowl caliber team, odds are you probably have to clean that up a little bit. Now, there has been outliers, right? The Chiefs were the most penalized team one year, and they were able to win it. I think they're also one year they had the most drops in the NFL, and they're able to win it as well. So, you can overcome those things, but why make it more harder on yourself? And if you want to ask me what really stood out to me, I was a little surprised in terms of the first question that I asked in terms of the Bills, of how it seems like that loss is still prevalent, and it seems like that loss is still brought into conversation. And it's interesting because of all the teams that I played on, and granted, there weren't a lot of winning football teams. I go to the Chiefs after, a 2-win season. I go to the Bears after they only won 4 or 5 games. And all those coaches that I played for, and there's some great ones, even Andy Reid, even said, we're not going to focus on last season. We're on to this up-and-coming season, clean slate and everything. I do appreciate where I think Liam Coen, in that conversation, it appeared like he took the more human approach, right? It's easy to say, hey, we're on to this season. We're not worried about last season. Okay, but I guarantee those guys in that locker room at some point during this season are going to think back to that Bills game.
Yeah.
Right? So it's almost like, why would you just put it away and not think about it, even though it's there in your conscious? Or why not bring it up and say, guys, what happened against Buffalo last year? We're better than that. So let's use that. Let's acknowledge it. Let's let it sit with us a little bit, and let's use that for motivation. I think that was a really telling sign right there from Liam Coen, because I guarantee not every single NFL coach would be willing to say that. A lot of NFL coaches out there would be like, the Bills game's done. We're going to throw the tape away. We're on to the next one.
Yeah, it's a good call. I thought there's a balance of it, But I said this to you last week, and I think we ended up putting one of these conversations out. I think to answer the edge comes from being a little like he said it right to the answer. There's some meat left on the bone last year, and these guys feel it. Mm-hmm. Like I call that some edge and pissiness and all that. Like I just feel like there is not satisfaction coming off 13 wins and a loss to the Buffalo Bills. You can justify it in a million ways. I mean, Josh Allen's unbelievable.
Yeah,
you're a little early to the party. Like you can justify. I don't think they do, and I think that's really deep down the difference between maybe some of the past success most recently in the last decade when there has been a bump. Mm-hmm. And I just don't think there's any satisfaction in this building about what went on last year. And I don't think it's just talk. I mean, you're obviously going to say it. You got to speak it into existence, preach it, set the standard. But I really think it is the standard. Again, I think there's hunger from Tony Baselli to get it back to those 90 days. I think James Gladstone operates that way with his success. He does nothing but success, basically, with the Rams. And I think Liam Coen the same way. So I think that domino effect is real. I think it's genuine, not just words being said. And, we get a lot of comments in the chat just how different Liam is and how much they love Liam Coen, what he's doing right now. And I think that's why he's a little bit different. I think it's very believable. I don't think it's just – I think he's a pretty good talker.
Yeah.
Like he could probably spin stuff in the coach speaky kind of way. I just don't think he just says it how it is, And I think that's what the players like about him. I think they're very matter of fact. You encounter that at all? I actually want to ask you a little bit about camp coming in as when your playing days. Yeah. I know it's been a little bit, but did you – I know Joe Cullen yelled at you a lot. But he's never going to it's never going to be like an around the bush kind of thing. So I guess he's an example of, hey, he's going to say it how it is.
Of course.
Whether you tweeted the wrong way or did a drill the wrong way.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And you appreciate that, though.
No, that's and I've spoke on this many times with Joe Cullen. Was it a rude awakening to go from, a collegiate experience where it was more of a players-friendly environment where – it was a coach that it was more like a father figure? Absolutely. And then was it a rude awakening to come to the Jaguars and, you're getting cussed out, you're getting yelled at and everything? Without a doubt. But I always say this, coaches, here's the beauty about being a coach, is that it takes all types, all personalities. But the most important factor that you look for in a coach is the ability to be genuine. Especially when you get to the pro level. Maybe in Pop Warner, even in high school, players are still young, they're still developing where they can't see through your facade. But in the NFL, when you're dealing with grown-ass men with families and go through problems and everything, they will see through you in a second. Yeah. And those that are genuine, whether you're a player's coach, whether you're a guy that's going to cuss up and down the field, as long as that's who you are and you're being genuine, players will always respect you.
Yeah.
It's when you start changing the script and trying to be something that you're not, that players can see you coming from a mile away, that's when you lose the locker room, and that's when you lose the culture.
Yeah, so here are a couple other questions I was going to get into, and then Liam joined us. I just always interesting. I mean, we got a former player on the show, and I know it's been a bit. But what is right now for a player? Because we were talking to Liam a little bit in the commercial break. Just hey, you get that time where it's okay, I'm ready to go back, but am I ready to go back? And you that final day of summer, like you said, it's kind of like school, right? Where it's hey, summer's over, bummer, but I get to go back to school. We've all had these feelings before. Yeah. I wonder what the feeling is. I'm in a good place right now. I know there's a lot of work ahead. But I also know I love the fact the calendar was a week later. Mm-hmm. And just for example, I'll just give my example. We did our vacations in June, so we've been planning. We feel like we've been ramping up. Now we're ready to go. Bring it on. I'm ready. Mm-hmm. But there are other years where I'm oh shoot, I went to vacation until yesterday, and now I didn't email as much as I should have or had meetings as much, and I'm oh man, I wish I had another week. So that's the way I operate it. But I don't have to go lose 7 or 8 pounds of practice.
Sure. See, and I think every player's truth is differently here, but I'll just kind of explain what I was going through every single year through training camp. It's a really weird dynamic because, and I mentioned this with you and Liam Coen, I think before we actually got on the interview, but there is those first day kind of jitters. You have this anxious feeling because it's about to get hard, right? It's about to be mentally and physically taxing, and it's about to be a whirlwind.
Yeah.
And any player feels that. But like where I was in that position, I feel like where a lot of guys entering this building in a couple of days are going to feel like it's like, okay, you think about it from a very broad scope. Like it's my first day, walk through the doors, man, I got to compete for a starting spot. Man, they put me on special teams. Man, like this, like you don't think about what's in front of you. You think about the overall picture. And then when you sit down for that first meeting, when you go to your position meetings, when you talk to the head coach for the first time, your position coach gives you his first speech, then all of a sudden you go from a broad scope and it becomes narrowed down. And now all of a sudden you're not thinking about, man, am I going to have my starting spot? Am I playing special teams? How good are we going to be this year? You're literally just focused about that day. And that's really what training camp is. It's literally just focusing it on day by day by day and not looking too far ahead of you. Because honestly, man, with as much work, and I get it, it's different, right? Like we were up 6 o'clock in the morning and then we weren't leaving the building until 8 o'clock at night.
Yeah.
And that's probably changed a little bit, and that's for the best. But from my experience, it was like you live in the moment, you take it one play at a time, and then, when you finally have a chance to breathe when the preseason's done and hopefully you're still on the team, then it's time to take that sigh, that exhale and go, okay, here comes the football season, let's get after it.
Yeah, I get that. I get that. That's a pull. I mean, not everybody looks forward to sweating off 8 pounds every day.
No, for sure.
But to compliment him, and we were talking about this again right before he came on the commercial break, and this is something I've heard from players. This isn't anything from Liam. They were very impressed and grateful for the way he crafted the schedule last year. Didn't mean they weren't working hard. In fact, they really got after it, but in a less dead time. So instead of just sitting around waiting for the next thing, it's more, hey, we're getting after it, we're being efficient with our time, and then you can get out of here. Like at whatever time that would have been. Instead of 8 o'clock, maybe at 6 o'clock. I don't know the exact schedule. But I think that matters to players. I think that matters to people. I think that matters to you at your job, right? I mean, you don't want to just sit there. If someone told you to work 10 hours and you had 6 hours of work, you wouldn't be happy about it, right? You'd rather go jam your 6 hours of work in and get out of there, whatever it might be. So I think that's like more of a human nature type of deal. A couple comments coming in. Thanks for, by the way, listening to the show today, watching the show on all the different platforms. If you missed the Liam Coen interview or if you can't hang around for Trevor Lawrence coming up in just a couple moments, we'll have that for you on the podcast, and you can always go back on YouTube and other places to watch. We'll also have a little more from Jags headquarters today on CBS 47 and Fox 30. So to miss it, you'll have to do a lot. If you didn't catch it in real time. But we appreciate the people jumping in real time. Duval TV says, I can't say enough good things about Liam. He embodies what it means to be Duval. He's inspiring, truly special. Couldn't be more proud to be a lifelong Jags fan. And yet, again, not everything will be hunky-dory all the time. And so I'm interested to see the comments and when things hit a little bit of a rut, at times. And that's just the nature of sports and the nature of things. But I think he already handled that a little bit when they lost to the Rams in London. The bounce back from that was absolutely terrific. He passed that test and how he will handle that. Listen, let's see what else we got. Liam's far from cookie cutter, says Glenn. He's candid, authentic, engaging. Really a great listen. I say this all the time jokingly. My wife doesn't make a living listening to press conferences. She probably listened to that interview. Sure. Because she likes listening to Liam Coen talk. Feels like she learns something, and it's almost like he's got a very good gift of talking like directly to the fan, to the viewer, to the listener, to the person asking the question. That doesn't always feel that way when people talk in this kind of setting, specifically on a podium, like in a room like this. And he is very good at it. Part of that is he's a communications major. Yeah. But that doesn't make you a good communicator all the time. Yeah. That's more of a gift.
So am I, and I'm
so am I.
Check that group chat out and see how I'm responding to that in the text messages. Spoiler alert, I'm not.
And William says, I know we're still early in Liam's head coaching career, but I feel like he will still be personable and delight to interview even when things are going the team's aren't going the team's way. Well, we'll see. I'm not sure I'm so delightful when things aren't going my way.
Yeah, but you know what, man? No, I agree with that a little bit because I think he understands it. I mean, now, if he wants to throw out the "you wouldn't understand" soundbite for a second time, I would laugh at it, but I don't see him saying that to you, Brent.
Yeah, I don't think.
But if that's the case, man, pay-per-view tickets, here we come.
If you missed one of the things, Austin did a great little exercise with Liam Coen on having him design a play, and we thought actually when he asked the question, we didn't have any knowledge of this. He just asked for a whiteboard. I pulled the whiteboard out. I thought it was the most impressive thing I've done in a month. Was that Austin asked for a whiteboard last night, and I found him.
Brent delivered.
But that's my pat on the back. But I didn't know what he was doing with it, and so as he's saying it, I thought he was going to have him draw the wishbone from 4 years old, which would have been pretty easy probably for him.
Yeah.
But I also wonder, as I'm sitting there, and he did a good job of like taking his time, figuring it out. Like, actually, okay, let me give you a play. But I wonder how many plays were dancing through his mind. Like,
it seemed like a couple.
Baker Mayfield did this. Matthew Stafford did this. Will Levis at Kentucky did this. I did this in high school. My dad's favorite play was this. And he lands on something actually like it shows you how gifted he is. He lands on something that you can relate to, a play you're going to see or did see all last year.
Well, and this is the thing, right? Because it's an interesting exercise because it tells a couple of things, right? When he's drawing out that play, one would think, I said, what's the most important play to you, right? Dude, I mean, there's literally 36 years of plays that he could have drawn from.
Yeah.
And the fact that he draws from one that happened last year with the current team that he's coaching, I think it speaks volumes in terms of where the focus is at.
Yeah.
Right?
Good
because
point.
if you would ask me to do it, man, let me go back to my Pop Warner days when I was playing tailback and everything, right?
Caught
Because
3 touchdowns.
I'm not living in the man. I'm going back to my glory days, right? But I think it was really telling with the fact of, listen, I can draw any play that I want. I'm going to do it with one from the team from last year that I'm currently the head coach of. I think that actually speaks a little bit of a volume in terms of where his head is at, where his priorities are at, and what his goals are.
Well, there's a storyline that came out of, I don't want you to forget the storyline coming out of the summer. Again, I say spring, really, the OTA period, all right, in the minicamp, which bleeds into summer. But the biggest storyline there was Brian Thomas Jr., right? And Brian Thomas Jr. was playing really well, and obviously things are tracking in a good direction. Bounce back year for Brian Thomas Jr. Were they going to trade him in the offseason, all this stuff? And so, I mean, we did that story a bunch on the show, but it was like a daily update because things were going well. Like, it really looks good. Probably ask Trevor about it. But I think what's interesting about that play is it's a play that also can highlight him. And I think that's what they're really want to do. And again, this isn't Coen sharing or telling secrets. Coen said it on the podium. They want to develop that part of the game more than they did a year ago. They want to push it down even more. They want to take advantage of a guy that they have that few teams have. They have a weapon that can get down the field, and they got a guy who can chuck it to them.
Yeah.
Like, they want to utilize that, and I think that's going to be intentional again, and something that we're going to probably marry back onto last year and say, okay, how many big explosive plays to Brian Thomas Jr. was it in 2025? How many in 2026? And I'll be surprised if that doesn't tick up.
I mean, I'm going to have to go back and once again listen to the conversation because, you know, when we talk about like offensive schemes and he's drawing it up, my head was a little bit in a beehive because I come from a defense where it's like, what do you play defensive end? Cool, go get the quarterback. Hey, arrow, quarterback, sack him now. Like, that's all I have to go off of. But I'm pretty sure, and I'll have to go back and listen, but when he talked about, you know, his favorite play, he mentioned Brian Thomas Jr. first in terms of the route that he ran. And he circled Brian Thomas Jr. And then obviously everyone came into play, and then it was Jacoby Myers and everything. But once again, maybe I'm looking too far into it. Maybe the fantasy football experts can take note of it and retweet it. But I think it says a little something when his favorite play, and he had Brian Thomas Jr. in mind to go to the ball first.
Yeah, pretty good. Hey, let's do this. Let's hit a break. And when we come back, we know, by the way, Trevor's popping up, and we're hanging on, and hopefully you can too. But again, we'll have Trevor Lawrence coming up in just a couple minutes. Plenty to talk about, but instead of hitting a break toward the end of the show, we can do it right now, and we'll get Trevor on the show in just a bit.
I'm going to get that
you get the
puppy reserved just in case. I'm not sweating, but I'm just in case.
By the way, this is not a surprise. We knew we might be waiting on a little bit.
No, it's all good, man.
But we're really excited to have Trevor jump on the show too. So we'll have that coming for you in just a bit. But let's stay on some time and get the bills paid here on the Brent and Austen Show on the Action Sports Jax 24/7 network.
Attention Jacksonville drivers, we heard you loud and clear. You told us oil changes were taking too long, and we listened. That's why we're proud to introduce our brand new Nimnik Express service. We've added additional staff so you can get your oil change without ever having to book an appointment. Just pull into our express lane and we'll take care of it. In the neighborhood, running errands, just realized you're overdue, just stop on in. No appointments, pull in, get out, get going. Nobody but Nimnik.
No one does it better, plays harder, or delivers more sports than CBS 47, Fox 30, and streaming on Action Sports Jax 24/7. The only local, multi-platform, round-the-clock streaming sports show in Jacksonville.
Yeah, thanks, Brent and Austen. I really appreciate you having me on.
From high school football, college game days, the AFC,
Wide open, caught for a touchdown.
the NFC,
He gets there, touchdown, Seattle.
the PGA,
Unbelievable.
World Cup soccer, NASCAR,
Denny Hamlin, big-time victory in Nashville.
baseball,
Fly ball beats center. Edmonds going back. The ball is going long.
local Jag shows,
You can feel the energy in here. There should be energy. Jags are in the middle of a playoff race.
and of course, your official stations of the Jacksonville Jaguars.
Lloyd, pick six. Breaks a tackle. Touchdown, Jacksonville.
We have all the sports, the exclusive interviews,
We got the best fans in the NFL.
the biggest games, the live events to help make your business soar. So hold on and see why live sports is where you need to be. On CBS 47, Fox 30, and streaming on Action Sports Jax 24/7. Get in the game.
Most of us know how to throw. But you need to know what to throw. I'm not talking about footballs, baseballs, softballs. We're talking about those items you need to recycle. Republic Services explains it easy. Recycling simplified. 1. Know what to throw. When in doubt, throw it out. 2. Empty, clean, and dry those materials. It takes an extra minute, but it makes a big difference. And 3. Don't bag it. This makes the recycling process faster and more efficient. This is a look at the Republic Services North Florida Recycling Center. You can make this process even more efficient. By utilizing those 3 steps, Republic Services can help you become a better recycler in your home. Learn more at recyclingsimplified.com.
What a throw! Touchdown, Jaguars!
We're coming for you.
They're going to get him on the ground, and that's going to end the ball game.
We show no mercy. Lawrence looking deep in the end zone. Touchdown! Duval!
ETN is going to take it all the way.
Right here on CBS 47. CBS 47.
Right here.
Your official station of the Jacksonville Jaguars.
And the Jaguars strike first.
Go Jags.
It can be a silent killer, but awareness is getting louder. Blood clots take more lives each year than car crashes. And just like driving, you have to be defensive. A few easy ways to protect yourself or someone you love are to learn your Caprini risk score and ask your doctor about your blood clot prevention plan. Emily's Promise is a local nonprofit named for Emily Atkins, a young woman from Fernandina Beach who died after a preventable blood clot following a broken ankle. Her legacy is now driving change across Florida. The Emily Atkins Family Protection Act strengthens how hospitals screen for clot risks and train staff to recognize warning signs. Blood clots can affect anyone, including athletes, and the signs can be easy to miss. So be aware, be defensive, and help beat a silent killer with loud attention to risk factors and symptoms. Learn more at emilypromises.com. That's emilypromises.com.
Welcome back to the Brent and Austen Show, streaming on the Action Sports Jax 24/7 network.
Welcome back to Jags headquarters as we get ready for football season. Starts on Wednesday, but really is underway here inside Jags headquarters. A bonus edition of the Brent and Austen Show, the Action Sports Jax 24/7 network. Fantastic to have Liam Coen stop by the show earlier, and now we are happy to be joined by Trevor Lawrence, of course, quarterback of the Jacksonville Jaguars. And we wait until Wednesday. Hello, by the way. We wait until Wednesday for camp to start. The fans will be here. Everything else, you guys already started. What do you do Saturday? You got here. What's Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday like before everybody's here?
Yeah, I mean, right now it's all the rookies, quarterbacks, and then some of the guys that are either injured or coming back from an injury last season or the end of the season, whatever, that are rehabbing. So it's all of us. I mean, it's really just some meetings. The days are about 4 or 5 hours shorter than our camp days. We come in for some meetings. We have a little time on the grass, just doing some individuals, some routes on air, just tuning up a few things, and then we get out of here in the afternoon. And it's just a way for us to kind of get back going, especially for the rookies to get, back going on the field before everybody gets in here. I think it's nice for those guys to settle in, and then every team I've been on, the quarterbacks have always been a part of that early group. So it's just part of our routine now that we're used to.
Good to have you, man. Trevor, we had Liam Coen on before, and, talk about a motivating factor. I mean, I had goosebumps. He kind of gave me a little bit of a pep talk. I'm going to show up to work tomorrow on time, so I'm really excited to showcase all that. But, and I think you spoke on it before. A lot of players have spoke on it. He's so good at motivating you guys and making you find that edge. But you being the quarterback, how do you tiptoe that line, right? Because a lot of it is based on, all right, well, they said this about us. They said this about us, right? And that's your motivation. But at the same time, you're the quarterback, right? So you can't get too wrapped up in what people say. So how do you use the motivation? What's your edge? Because you got to kind of tiptoe it seems like a little bit.
Yeah, I think all that stuff is valuable and is great. I think that's a skill of a good leader and coach is being able to find those things. I think a lot of the great coaches I've been around have had that and have been able to find that motivation and the chip on your shoulder, and even things that might be not a huge deal to everybody else, but it's just being able to create that edge. So I think that's a gift that coach has, and it is authentic. He just plays with, or he coaches with this chip on his shoulder, and I think that just rubs off on the rest of the team, including myself. I'm a pretty laid-back guy, not as high of energy as Coach Coen, and I think that's brought some more of that out of me, which has been great for me in my leadership. But then also I think being able to balance that out, because at the end of the day I'm the one on the field playing, I'm the one leading the guys in that huddle, and I think having that level head, even keel, the balance has been really good for us. But I think I always try to keep that approach because I understand I've seen a lot of football in my career. I've been a part of a lot of good, bad days, and I've seen games flip in an instant. So I think trying to keep a level head the whole game and not get too high or too low is really valuable for a quarterback, but also just a team, because things can change like that in this league, and you can be beating someone by 2 touchdowns and they're right back in the game. So I think there's a definitely that's important.
Yeah, or 27-0 sometimes.
Yeah.
You've been around this for a little bit now. You're never going to find anybody that says, hey, I don't love being around Trevor Lawrence or anything like that. So all the coaches you've been around, I'm sure, have really enjoyed working with you. But, I've been around here 20 years. He played here 2010, 11, 12. You can feel things when they're different. And everybody has a little difference in the regimes. But how different is this one? How palpable is that, I guess, for the player? Again, I'm not where you are, but I can feel it around what's going on, and hopefully that means good things for years to come. But what does it feel like for you? How different than the first few years in Jacksonville?
Yeah, and we've had, like you said, there's been a lot of changes that I've been a part of, and we've had some great years. And through all the stats I've had, we've had some great moments. And I think the one thing about this year, and I guess this staff that's come in, that I've been impressed by, and not to say that other staffs haven't done it, but I think having a good year might have surprised a lot of people last year that we were 13-4 and ended up turning it on at the end of the season and played really well. I think that surprised some people, but coming off of that, there hasn't been any complacency. There hasn't been any, well, look what we did last year in year one. It's just going to get better. There's been none of that attitude. It's been pedal to the metal. How can we get better? How can we go to the next level? How can we peel back the next layer, if you will, of our offense? And I think the way they pushed me as well as transitioning from year one to year two, that's where sometimes, you want to see a big improvement because you have a year in the system, but a lot of times you kind of just do the same stuff. So you come in and you play similarly because you didn't take the next step and really keep peeling that thing back and get better and dig into the offense. And I think we've done that this offseason, and we're just really getting started with training camp because that's the time where you really get into the weeds and you have a ton of time with your guys. So I think that's the biggest thing is how we've attacked this offseason, and the striving to get better every day has been really cool to see.
One quick thought. How pissed off are you guys from last year still the way it ended? Do you sense there is some of that? 13 wins, great. Playoffs, great. Yeah. All the unexpected, like you said. But then it felt like it turned, wait a minute, we feel like we might be the best team. So I guess how much is still resonates from that loss?
Yeah, it definitely – it still I don't want to say stings because we've moved on to next year, and it's getting so close. We have this opportunity right in front of us. So I would be lying if I said I'm still really lingering on that. Like I'm kind of past at this point. But the whole offseason, you're thinking about it, and we honestly felt like you said, we're the best team in the league, and we're going to beat anybody if we play them. So to lose in the first round to obviously a good Buffalo team and to lose the way we did is super disappointing because so much work went into it. And it was different than maybe other years where you're in the playoffs and it feels like, oh man, we're in the playoffs, and that was a good season. It didn't feel like that at all. It felt like, man, that we had a really great opportunity to even win the whole thing. If we can just get out of this game against Buffalo, find a way to win this game, we felt like we could really beat anybody. So that's the way the NFL is. That's the way the playoffs are, especially. It's going to come down to one possession, and those games are just so tight. So I think we learn a lot from it, and we reload and take this crew and give it another run.
You mentioned a couple of times in terms on your offense to peel it back a little bit, peel it back. What does that mean to you, right? Like going into another season now, is it more motions that you have to know? Is it more play calls? Like what does that mean to be peeling back as a quarterback for the Jacksonville Jaguars now?
Last year it was more, okay, we're installing our offense, we're running our plays, and just trying to manage that in and of itself is challenging with a new system. There's a lot of moving parts, there's a lot of progressions, a lot of footwork, a lot of plays that you have to change, a lot of different things you're looking for protection-wise. So now, I know all that stuff in our offense. We all know all that stuff, and you have to continue to practice it and work it, of course, but now it's seeing these specialty third down looks and these different protections and how we're going to pick up these blitzes. And we're already working on those things for the season because last year, as you're trying to master all of the little details of the system when everything's going normal, and then obviously towards the end of camp, we start to throw in some wrinkles. And then by the time season comes around, now you have these game plans that are getting really complex. So then you're learning that. But I feel like we're now already at that point in this offseason to where we're starting to work on different things that came up towards the end of the season when we play these really good defenses at the end of the year and we see these certain blitzes that we got to know how to pick up, and it's going to take a check from me or the O-line to make a different call. That's the stuff that we're already working on. And then just the chemistry with the receivers. I think having a year of the offense under our belt, we know what we need to work on, and there's things that came up last year that we weren't as consistent as we'd like to be, so we can work on those things now. Last year, it's like we're just trying to do everything and get good at everything.
Yeah.
Now we're a little bit more pinpoint.
Get everybody excited. How good does Travis Hunter look? We're seeing videos.
He looks good. He looks really good. Yeah, we got an opportunity to work out a little bit this summer, and he looks good. It's like he's gained some weight. He's bigger, but he doesn't look like he's lost a step at all. He looks maybe even faster. So just excited. I mean, that guy loves football, so I'm excited for our teams. He's going to make us better, but I'm really excited for him. I know he's dying to get back out there.
We joked with Liam a little bit. Fantasy football people don't like you guys because you're going to really spread the ball. It's not like, hey, one guy, right?
Good.
I mean, yeah, right, good. You'll maybe get a little mentions in your social media because of it. But, I mean, how much of a weapon is that we really don't know going into a game who might be the guy this week?
It's a huge weapon. I mean, for an offense to be balanced, I don't know. I mean, there's a lot of great receivers in this league and a lot of good offenses, but as far as the balance that we have, I mean, I think we're up there at the top of the league. It's just the weapons everywhere. Everyone's a threat. And I think the cool thing about it is everyone's different, too. It's not, every receiver that we have and tight end are really different players, so you can do so much with those guys. And I think it's going to be hard for defenses you can't really tilt coverage one way all the time because we got 3, 4, 5 guys that are threats in the passing game.
Trevor, I would ask you to rank your wide receivers from 1 to 4.
Yeah,
but obviously fantasy football people would go crazy, but I'm not going to put you on the spot like that. But I will ask you this. If I name the wide receiver, could you tell me what makes them and makes your job easier as a quarterback? You
Sure.
cool with that?
Yeah,
okay. So let's start off with Kobe Myers. What does he do that makes your job easier as a quarterback?
Easy to throw to, spatial awareness, just understands defenses, knows how to tempo routes, set routes up, just a really smart player. And obviously, I mean, amazing hands, catches everything.
Parker Washington.
I mean, Parker can do a lot of things. I'd say just his strength in and out. I mean, in and out of cuts, getting defenders off of him, strong through the catch, can break a lot of tackles. Obviously, the yak he's able to create is impressive. But, I mean, he also he's good enough down the field to where he's not just an underneath intermediate guy. He can run the whole route tree. And I think that's what really makes him dangerous is because he can go over the top too. So, but I would say obviously underneath when he catches the ball and the ball in his hand, I mean, there's not many guys that can tackle him.
Brian Thomas Jr.
Speed. And, you know, it's not just that. I mean, the steps that he's taken this offseason and some of the routes that he's ran that haven't just been verticals have been impressive. And the way I've seen him work on his craft and get better every year, I'm super excited for this year for him. I think he's going to have an awesome year. Our chemistry has grown a ton, but his speed that's where it all starts, because if you're a corner, that's a threat every time he runs off the ball. You don't know where he's going to go, and if he keeps running straight, you're not going to catch him. So you got to back up. So I think for him, learning how much of a weapon that is, I've just seen him grow and grow, and it's going to be an exciting year.
And last but not least, got to throw in Travis Hunter.
Just ball skills, I'd say. If I had to pick one thing, I mean, you throw it near him, he's going to go catch it. Obviously, he's got speed too. He's fast, can break tackles. He's really shifty underneath when he gets the ball in his hands. Got a great feel for zones as well. But I'd say the biggest thing is just his ball skills are really, really impressive.
Have you gotten better at throwing to Brian Thomas Jr. in the long ball? I think you brought it up to me a year or two ago, where it's not easy because of his speed, so right? Fast. Like, to where to put it. Is that really a challenge because of his speed?
Especially if you're talking about truthfully, if you're throwing him a shot off play action, 7-step drop, if I put air under it, I can throw it as far as I can throw it, and he'll catch up to it. Which is, there's not many guys like that I've played with. That's just rare that someone's that fast, and he just knows how to accelerate and, stay in phase with the ball. Obviously, when it's drop back pass, I'm not going to throw it as far as I can. I can overthrow him on those, but I think that is something where I've just learned, especially when he's going game speed, game rep, or when we get in these competitive periods in practice. I mean, that speed that he has on those reps is just. It's awesome. So for as a quarterback, once you learn it, though, you can put it out there, and he can catch up to anything. So it did take some time to learn, and threw a couple balls short, threw some back shoulders where he really beat the guy over the top, and I should have just put it out there. And it's all part of learning together and getting that chemistry. I mean,
he's talk about chemistry, Trevor. I was at the first OTA, and there was a miscommunication with you and Brian Thomas Jr. I saw you quick run up to him and kind of communicate like, "Hey, what'd you see?" And he said what he saw. Which is, obviously what you want on a football field, but this is really the first time it feels like where you have your wide receiving core coming back, where you're not having to learn a new face or get acclimated. How important is that to you to kind of know who's coming back? You did a great job explaining why each one makes you a better quarterback, but what does that mean to you, the guy throwing the football, of all these guys are coming back now?
Yeah, I think it's huge just for continuing to develop that relationship and the chemistry, because you learn so much, and playing one full season with just one receiver, you learn so much as the year goes on, and you can see how much better we got. Even to take a guy like Parker, for example, where we've played a lot together, but to have, when he became the starter after Travis ended up getting hurt, to have those last 10 weeks or so, how much better we got every single week. And I think that's the same trajectory that I'm on with our whole receiving core and our tight ends as well. So I think that's huge, and it's something that I haven't had a lot in my career, so I'm really excited for. And I think for an offense, that's a big part of it, because you get to skip some of the steps of the early, off-season trying to get on the same page. You can kind of get past that and get into the details quicker.
Hey, look, Liam Coen drew this up. Austin asked what play he would draw up in his 36 years since he first drew up the wishbone when he was 4 years old, and he drew up the dagger concept, you throwing it. So you got BTJ, obviously Jacoby over here. Park. You like? Is that one of your favorites too?
Oh yeah, we throw. You guys have seen it. We throw a lot of these. It's Jacoby. Parker caught a bunch of them too. That's a good one.
Do you know what happened on one of these in particular?
We threw a ton this year.
I know. Right? He brought up. I didn't phrase that question very well. This would have been against the Jets, I think. Would have been the Jets? No, probably not the Jets.
Jacoby caught one.
Titans 4,000 yard.
Oh yeah, that was
play.
Parker. It was left side.
That was okay. There you go.
Parker,
all right. He brought that up. I didn't. I didn't remember that. Do you have a favorite play from last year? You had a bunch of plays, throws. Everybody's dissected them.
Yeah, that's a good question. I don't know. I mean, I've always liked the one against Indy where I get hit right in the face and through the.
Oh wow! Yeah. And I know Liam loves that when he talks about that one too. That was a big hit. Did that hurt?
Yeah, a little bit. I got my jaw and chin a little, but
sure.
I don't know. I mean, that's that one. I like the cover 0-1 to Jacoby against the Cardinals too. It was drifting backwards, just more of like a situational play that I like. Maybe not. Yeah. Other people probably wouldn't think that's their favorite. But
all right, can you prove me wrong before we let you go? Prove me right before we let you go. I thought you played really well in the Arizona game despite the turnovers. Like I say that all the time. Like I get it's part of it, right? But like I thought you threw the ball really well in that game. Just a couple of them to the other team. But I mean, like seriously, do you play better in a game like that than people will see?
Yeah, I mean, I felt like that after the game. Obviously, the turnovers. I had a couple, 2 bad decisions that I wish I had back, but and those hurt you. But as far as I felt like that was the first time our offense really clicked in the passing game. Like I made a few bad decisions, but the other plays, to see the skill group, us click, and just the timing and some of the adjustments guys made, I think that was the first game where it all came together and was like, man, we made a ton of plays that weren't perfect that we just figured out. And I think that was the first big step for our offense, to where after that I think we threw it great the rest of the year.
Yeah.
We were really explosive.
Yeah, you did. Grass or turf? Does it matter to you? It's a big conversation. And will you
grass.
have a say?
Oh, yeah, you got to go grass, man.
I don't know if I'm saying, but I love grass. Yeah.
You guys talk about that a lot? It's a topic this offseason.
Players?
Yeah.
Yeah, we talk about it. I mean, even during the season, guys are always wanting to play on grass more than the turf. I think that's I wouldn't say that's necessarily 100%, but that's the consensus, I would think.
Yeah, I think it's like 96%. It's pretty darn close.
Yeah.
Well, good luck. You got.
I'll say one more thing for you, man. So obviously, when you cut your hair, that was a big thing on social media, and like that. But hold on,
I still get asked that question.
Yeah, but there's a rumor along James Harden where if James Harden was to shave his beard with Adidas, that they would like take some money away because it's part of his brand. So my question to you is your hair part of your brand? Where if you would actually shave it or cut your hair, would Adidas have something to say about it?
No, I don't have that.
You don't have that clause. Okay.
My hair doesn't have the status that James Harden.
Well, I don't know, man. If you keep those numbers up, Trevor, you're going to be up there pretty soon.
That's awesome. I didn't know that.
Yeah. People still ask me that.
Yeah.
How many people come up to you and say, like, "Oh, you do have your hair"?
Guys, I wish we could just from this day on, no more questions about it. It was fun. Let's
get done with it. All right. Hey, and congrats, baby boy, coming soon, right?
Appreciate you.
That's fun stuff.
Got a boy coming soon this winter, so it'll be exciting.
Awesome. Congrats on that. Trevor Lawrence, we'll see you out there on Wednesday. Can't wait to watch you and the Jags play on offense. Pick up right where you left off a year ago. Trevor Lawrence, Liam Coen on the Brent Austen Show. Thanks, everybody here at Jags headquarters for letting us be a part of it here on a Monday. Happy football season, everyone. Enjoy the rest of your day.
Attention, Jacksonville drivers. We heard you loud and clear. You told us oil changes were taking too long, and we listened. That's why we're proud to introduce our brand new Nimnik Express service. We've added additional staff so you can get your oil changed without ever having to book an appointment. Just pull into our express lane and we'll take care of it. In the neighborhood, running errands, just realized you're overdue? Just stop on in. No appointments, pull in, get out, get going. Nobody but Nimnik.